Okay, I guess we are live. Question mark? All right. Cool. I think I'm gonna put another coat of stuff on this and see if that will drive me towards wanting to paint something else. I've got too much to paint, Will. The never-ending cycle of buying stuff, putting stuff together, priming stuff, and then needing to paint it. What are you doing over there?
Well, I'm trying to decide whether to do acrylic or oil rust effects.
There's a lot of off-camera noise happening. Someone is rummaging through drawers, tables of paint, in an attempt, vain as it may be, to find the right color of... What are you... Oh, you're doing rust. Some rusty barrel painting going on. What are you gonna use?
I'm thinking about using this. Yeah, this rusty grime. Dark rust deposits.
Right. And are those your objective markers for your diorama?
They are, yes. That they are.
What you were doing is probably far more precise than anything I'm doing at the moment. I'm just basically using contrast basilicum gray in a 10-to-1 water ratio in order to create nothing but grime at the very outer limits of the Sisters Basilica. It has clearly been attacked.
I'm just going to turn the fan on because I'm going to use some oil-based paint. So.
Oh, great. We're going to get high. I have the Nurgle. Yeah, I always wonder how much of this stuff should we be thinking about using venting for, or is that unimportant?
Oh, at the level we're doing, I mean, the atomization that happens when you airbrush, that's when I vent,
Yeah.
or a mask or something.
But it's okay if it's just...
There's enough ventilation here for like glues and stuff like that. Oh, lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Where's the fan control?
Lovely question. I'm not sure I ever had it. Did I? I feel like that's not something I usually control. Because I didn't have it on earlier today.
Oh. Here it is. I don't believe that.
I didn't.
It was set to 82.
I had it on last night.
Oh.
Or yesterday, or when it was in my office. Probably had it at 82. But I did not have it on today.
So,
I'm going to have to invest.
what's weird is I don't see your, oh, there we are.
Invest.
Delete that.
Yeah. Awkward. Awkward moment of hearing yourself. Oh, getting on the rubber gloves.
Rubber gloves.
It's a sound of serious miniing going on here. I am unseriously miniing. This is not anything dramatic. I'm basically doing the world's worst.
Right. I'm going to be using
Slop and
MIG
grind.
Light Rust Effects.
Oh, good to know those pipettes finally came into.
Oh, this needs to be mixed now.
Made a very grave error when buying off the lovely marketplace that is Amazon, and realized after a giant bag of not 10, not 100, no, 1,000
So how many we got?
pipettes. I'm fairly confident that bag was ginormous.
Alright, well I'll use a new pipette.
There's no dearth of pipettes. I do like the glass ones though. Reusable. Less destroying of the environment, I suppose. Is there any terrain that isn't been attacked? Like the ones that aren't destroyed? Like a non-destroyed basilica? Or is it all post-attack and now you're fighting?
I don't know the answer to that. There is only war.
There's only war.
So
Well, that's not true.
I don't think there's.
I
I need
don't-
some white spirits just to look this down a bit. I like these AK Interactive products a lot.
AK Interactive. Probably gonna get my AK Interactive on with this stuff eventually here. So that's a powder, but you mix it?
No.
Or, oh no, that's not a powder.
Yeah, that's I do use that pigment the pigment sometimes. This is it's an oil-based rust effect.
Right. And why do you choose to use oil versus?
It's just it acts a little more natural. It runs a little bit more. I just find it's more realistic effect. I mean, they have so many good products now.
It's more realistic Nurgle effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is just rust.
It was a joke.
You know.
It's Nurgle rust though.
Sure.
My Blizzbarb archers that will slowly, achingly slowly get painted over here.
let that kind of run down. And here's what's funny is like they keep getting worse. These barrels, you paint them and they just get worse and worse over time until you get basically just like a rusty barrel.
So you just keep adding more.
Yeah. It's kind of a lot of my paint styles. Oh, doesn't that look neat? Now let me ruin it.
That's what happens when you paint a lot of chaos.
There is only war. Nothing can be clean and tidy in the 41,000 millennium.
It is interesting. I really hope that 40K is not correct, that the 41,000 millennium is going to be this way. Like, I have higher hopes that if we survive the nonsense that we're putting the Earth through and Terra still exists, I really hope that we get beyond the there is only war mindset.
No comment.
One thing that I find interesting, some of the books that I've read so far, there's not a lot of relationships. So how do they make more people? Like,
what do you mean? Like who?
Like, I mean, like, you kind of, every once in a while you hear about, so, oh gosh, Dwarven, the militarium guy, Kesh's boss, like, he talks about having a daughter who I think died and a wife in the first, the new books. What are they called? What is that series?
The Avenging Sun?
Yes, it's in the Avenging Sun, but that's not the name of the series, right? Anyway, it is in the Avenging Sun. He talks about having a daughter and a wife, but then I'm like, well, where are they, and what's their thing, and what does a wedding look like in the 41st millennium, and you're just off fighting a war.
There's only war, Claire. I just keep reminding you of this simple.
But then in 41,000 years, when people just die off because there's only war, there's no...
I think I've recalled reading, there's some personal moments here and there between the war.
Mm. There is kind of a bit of a risky thing that happens at one point in one of the newer books. Between some unsurprising people. It's very funny, actually. Probably one of my most shocking moments, because it was really... I mean, the sisters, they're always taking orphans, right? Their whole thing is they're like the MI6 of the ecclesiarchy. We'll take all of the orphan girls, turn them into slave.
I'm going to switch topics for a minute. So what I'm doing here is these barrels are part of my... Claire and I are going to the grand tournament here in the Seattle area in July, and we felt like 40K, it's like 8 games this tournament. I haven't been in a tournament for a while, so 8 games is quite a bit. So instead of taking on 8 games, we're going to do a kill team tournament. But to just have some more fun with it, we're making little diorama / display bases, and then making custom objective markers and custom barricades. And I'm doing a Death Guard, Poxwalkers, and Plague Marines. And so my objective markers are going to be barrels of, corrupted goo, toxins. I'll have to probably cross out the Imperial symbol on these. these will be my objective markers, and then for my pretty excited. I don't know how to execute, but for my barricades, I basically have built 3 little walls of nurglings, and they actually measure the width, depth, and height is almost conforms exactly to a standard guillotine barricade. So that's pretty cool. And then here's the display base that I've come up with. And I've already primed it and everything, but I can't fit in the camera. But there's going to be this sewage vent. I'll have the objective markers placed around. It's basically a battle ruin. I'm going to put some toxic, like a pool of toxic goo. And and then I also, as part of the display base, I have these 2 compartments for like dice and regular tokens, action tokens and stuff. So that's the plan. We have till July. And then you're working on not kill team. Well, kind of kill team, right?
I don't think this is. It's 40K.
Right, we'll use that terrain for both.
Seems a bit hard for 40 or for kill team.
Large.
It's large. You'd get stuck in there. Getting up to these things. I mean, the layer is too high.
Right.
You would never be able to get up there. You don't have enough. Your poxwalkers would.
Poxwalkers don't make a lot of progress. That's for sure. Right?
No. Just go in one direction. Together.
This oil wash, though, does take a while to dry. So I'm going to have to move on to something else. How are the fumes over there?
My nose is still so stuffy, I can actually barely smell it. To be honest. What is the difference between a technical and anything else?
Oh, the Citadel technical paints?
Mm-hmm.
A technical just stands for there's like some specific use case, right? Like it's like a specific wash to add a glow or textured. Like a good example is the Blood for the Blood God, right? It's like it's a little gooey.
I mean, that one makes sense to me, but I guess there's some other ones that I just have to read up on.
Yeah, you definitely have to look them up if you're not. Like, what was that one we saw today at the store? I didn't know what it was.
I don't remember the name of it. It was blue technical, so maybe I was thinking like maybe a plasma pistol, like the plasma part.
Yeah. Oh, those are drying. I guess I'll start on the poxwalkers. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with the nurses.
I'm just gonna keep washing this.
You'll be there a while.
Over and over and over. Basically using an entire bottle.
One of the pots I refer to my paint recipes.
Yeah, I very rarely write things down.
Yeah, I just can't remember if I don't write them down. I'll do a green skin.
Oh, actually, I did want to try that new dry that I got tonight. I think would possibly
That
do
blue?
well. Yeah, on the Blues Barb Archers. So maybe I'll go with that.
That's the sound of me looking through every paint pot.
What are you looking for?
I just found an on-rack skin.
I have a bunch. I don't know what you're looking for necessarily, but I have a few over here. Well, I have Kislev Flesh Pot, and then the rest are Pro Acryl. You know you're doing it right when you have to put extra paper towels underneath your model for all the drippy runoff. By doing it right, I mean just really messily and probably not doing it the way I'm supposed to be doing it in any way, shape, or form. So basically I paint like I play. I have a lot of people.
What's funny is I'm missing Biltan green.
That I do not have.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. Well, I have used a green once to color some cogitator nonsense. I swear that what I'm doing right now is actually really viable and it works very well. It looks like absolute nonsense right now, but when I go back through and use a light gray to white dry brush, it actually looks quite lovely. Like this is really stone. I had tested out this recipe on the St. Catherine statue that comes with this, and I'm quite happy with it. Ooh, whatever you just opened really does smell now, or maybe it was because you washed it off.
Yeah.
Now I smell the oil.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's fine. It's not bad. I was surprised I didn't smell it before.
We'll do a couple, I'll mix up all the skins in these poxwalkers. Who's going to be green? I think he'll be green. Green skins.
Did an orc become a poxwalker? Is that what happened? Orc got the pox. I mean, are poxwalkers all human? Ex-human?
I mean, that's all we see, but I imagine.
Because is it... Yeah. If you are already corrupt, can you be corrupted by a different type of corruption?
Well, the orcs aren't really corrupt. They're
Just enemies of the Imperium.
yeah. They're just Xenos, right?
So the orc are alien?
Yeah.
Oh. Which effectively just means they're not from Terra.
Sure. They're just not human. They're humans throughout.
Well, but like half of the Astartes are kinda sorta not human. Right?
They're superhuman. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're superhuman. I mean, they start as humans, right?
Yeah.
They're still humans. Right?
I don't know.
Orc is orc. That's all you need to know. That the orcs were like, it seemed like a big deal in that one. What does it say? It is the Avenging Sun series, or is the Avenging Sun one of the books? I can't remember. Do you?
I thought it was one of the books, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's getting bad. It's just this, isn't it? And then
Okay. I am going to let that dry. And I don't know if I want to work on Archer's skin, probably. Actually, I have 4 skin. I might do some tank work.
you switching to tank?
Well, I have to wait for that to dry before I can dry brush it. Probably won't be able to until tomorrow, honestly.
What smells? Is it just? Yeah, it's just these drying. Need a drying table.
Are you gonna put the fan on it?
Yeah. Don't you think? Is that what you're gonna suggest?
Yeah, that was what I meant by are you going to put the fan on it? As in, if you aren't, will probably help. Because that fan also has like a filter or whatever, right?
Right, it's an air filter and heater.
We are not sponsored by Dyson. I mean, I would totally take that sponsorship. Weirdly, I think the only thing in our house that isn't Dyson. No, it's Stedhampton. If you're still there, it's not. It's the Basilica for the sisters, so it's specific to the 40K. It's the one that comes with the big St. Catherine statue. Big. I think it's just this piece and the St.
Yeah,
Catherine statue,
yep.
right? Yeah. It's just it seems like when you open the box, there's going to be a lot more terrain. So this piece of terrain is all just one. It's kind of cool.
You're
With a
gonna be
little
painting it
balcony.
forever.
I will be painting it forever because I am painting still the Calnath for going on a month and a half, 6 week.
The buildings and that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a process painting terrain. I didn't realize just how much. And then we've got all of the boarding actions to paint.
Oh, the boarding actions. Oh.
So there's plenty.
I
to
pooped
do.
out on the boarding actions after just removing mold lines in the limited assembly. That was a lot of work. Just so.
Oh, they're not even put together yet?
I have not primed them.
Got it. Well,
And
that's at least saving me from having to put.
There's
paint on
there's
them.
exciting but also daunting level of detail in them. Once it's all done, I mean, it really reminds me of like old Space Hulk style, the old Space Hulk board game. So I'm kind of excited to get it together. I do like the boarding actions idea. We haven't played it yet. It's funny. It seems like they're doing like Kill Team is a skirmish level, basically 40K, and boarding action seems like it's kind of splitting the difference between those two. And I really like that because what I really like about the hobby is just playing a bunch of different armies and everything, and it's such an investment, to get especially since I like to, paint them really nice. It's such an investment to get 2,000 points of some army, and it's not just 2,000 points. It's like 3,000 points until you figure out what you really want to run.
He says to the woman who's holding her second people carrier for the sisters of battle, not knowing if I'll ever use either.
Yeah. That's what I really like about Kill Team is like, in 1 week I painted up those Kroot, so basically have, a different faction to play.
Except the problem with the narrative play is we're going to have a hard time switching to just try another army, because at the end of the day I'm kind of excited and
when you're doing narrative style Kill Team, right?
Yeah, because you want to get
the experience.
And you have your spec op that you need to accomplish, and so it's like, well, I don't want to switch to something else until I've accomplished my spec op.
I have 60 Poxwalkers, at the very least built and primed, and I've got 30 painted now.
That includes your kill team set?
Yes, and this batch here that I'm painting, I'm doing specifically for the grand tournament, because I want these Poxwalkers to exactly match the placement on the display board. So I'm going to do a variety of, usually when I paint the Poxwalkers, I'll do like a batch of, I don't know, what is it, 10 or whatever they come in a box. I'll do a batch in one type of skin, but for this display board, I want them to have a variety of skin colors.
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like the kill team that we're playing with, they're...
In the belly button there.
I gotta...
You feel like what?
The kill team that you're playing with in our narrative play has a lot of differentiation.
It does, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so who else is gonna be green skin? Really, this guy is, I really like him. What do you think I should do, paint the pustules for the green kind of based? I could just go to yellow again. That would look cool. Right?
Yeah, you answered your own question.
Well, do you have another opinion?
I don't. You could also do pink.
Yeah.
Like a fleshy pink, so it's almost like a sore blood. I don't know what a poxwalker blood color is. I don't know if they still have red human blood or...
I think it's whatever you want, honestly.
I understand that. That's why I'm...
Right, what do you think it would be?
Whatever you want, clearly.
Purple?
I mean, I feel like they don't really even have blood anymore. It's just pus.
I've said this before, but I find it's kind of funny to me that, I don't like gross things at all, right? And yet, I've really put a lot into playing, basically Nurgle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pacifist and I'm playing a war
Right,
game,
yeah.
so I don't really think that in the world of Warhammer it's much of a matter and whether you like the thing you're doing or not.
It's not like Dungeons and Dragons too. Like people the characters that they are tend to be very different, right, from the type of who they kind of are in real life, because it's fantasy that allows you to kind of role play something else.
Sure.
Like in real life, I am not a flamboyant wizard. I don't know if you knew this.
I've seen you in a purple suit before. Eggplant.
Eggplant. Yeah.
Eggplant.
Purple. That's
Eggplant
a little
suit.
misleading to say that. Purple suit.
Eggplant suit. But no, you were not wearing a wizard's hat, and I'm pretty sure your wizard in Diablo had something in the vicinity of 30 different colors on him at any given point in time. Ever changing, as one does when they're playing Diablo. Must upgrade the clothing. That's probably why it's my favorite game. There's no real reason behind it. It's just...
I mean, I think that is partly the appeal of Diablo, is you get to customize.
Well, it's with Inquisitor too, right?
Right.
Like, you get to customize, you get to level up by, kind of your own path. definitely part of what draws me into those kind of games. I'm not a big gamer, but
I gotta tell you, the level of detail on these on Games Workshop models is just getting insane. And one of the things I really like about the Games Workshop models, by and large, is it feels like they really understand how to sculpt at a small scale for painting. You know what I mean? Like, they know how to sculpt detail and what kind of detail to add. Whereas, like, you know, like some of those board games I get where they come with a whole bunch of minis and they're just super highly detailed, but it's like you can't paint them. It just doesn't really look good.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I
It's
feel
like
like that's kind of the issue with some of the those Conan game.
Yeah,
They're so
that's
small.
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They're so small. There's no way.
I love that game. I think the models look cool, but I hate painting them. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even attempt. Like, do not have the vision. And by vision, I mean my sight, not the vision for painting.
Yeah, that's getting kind of. Oh, could I set it back up here? That's why.
Oh, getting fumey in here, people.
Fumey.
Fumey.
It's a major drawback of oils.
What is the alternative?
For
doing rust?
acrylics, yeah.
So there's a similar acrylic version.
I mean, you can do washes, yeah. All right. Those guys. Just check them out on my base really quickly, my display base. And I've magnetized these guys. How's your tank going?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
With the tank?
Zero
Have you
concepts.
mapped out anything, or?
It's all in my head. I've got it. It's gonna be gold and black, like everything else in the Sisters universe. Some splashes of red. It'll be just fine. I feel like if I plan too much on something like this, I overthink it and then either never start or just get analysis paralysis and don't do well if something didn't work that I thought I was going to be able to do.
Looking for something to just kind of pick off altogether. So we're going to do the bone. Shabti bone. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing any of these right.
You know, it depends on who you ask on the internet. I went to look up how to say Zench or the 30 other ways that people say that is meant to be pronounced. And the Reddit thread is as long as my arm. So I'm gonna call it however I want to call it.
A long 40K based Reddit thread. That is shocking.
Truly shocking. I mean, I'm sure that there is a long thread alone on whether or not the Astartes are demigods or humans.
Right.
Strongly in the demigod camp, myself. As a human.
Just all these bone parts in.
You just read the last, or the next, the Siege of Terra, was it?
I just received the what I think is the second to last book in the Siege of Terra series, and while I'm really enjoying it, I've read 60 something Horus Heresy novels. I'm kind of ready for the story to conclude so I can read other things. I think that's fair. Release me from this story.
I'm sure that there are some people who have the opposite opinion and say, give us 60 more. But I'm also, this is the thing that I think is the most fascinating part about Warhammer, and strangely I think one of the things that got me into it, not just the fact that I like painting the models, but what got me into the stories and all of that, is it isn't linear. We didn't start at 0 and we're going to the 41st millennium. Like, they're still writing Horus Heresy books, which is way back, and then they're now on a whole new thread, and the Indominus Crusade is technically over or like wrapping up in where we are technically in, if we were to say today's time. Like, I find that a fascinating thing. There's very few narratives or books or that are just
Right.
so all encompassing and able to keep all of those threads together and continue to create true canon in that way. Like, comic books are about as close as it gets. But even those, it tends to be somebody buying the rights to them and somebody kind of creating part of their own thing. This is all existing within the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Which is just really cool to me.
Yeah, we've been getting the Arcs of Omen books, but feels like I'm jumping ahead by reading them before I finish. I can't remember the name. Is the Avenging Sun series, whatever the Indominus Crusade, the current. What's the book we just finished? Throne of.
The Iron Kingdom.
The Iron Kingdom, yeah. I think it's called the Avenging Sun series. I could be wrong.
I thought the book was the Avenging Sun.
I could be wrong. Why don't you look
To
it
the
up?
Google. Anybody in the chat?
Too many things to keep track of.
It is a lot of things.
This guy is super horny. Is like so much.
That's not appropriate
So
for
much-
Twitch.
So much.
Yeah. Avenging Sun is book 1. It's the Dawn of Fire.
The Dawn of Fire. There we go. The Dawn of Fire series.
There we go.
Yeah.
I will remember that for a total of 12 seconds and promptly forget. What I want to see more of, I want to see another Talons of the Emperor book. That. Some good writing. I didn't know that I liked the Custodes.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Well, they did a good job with them in Dawn of Fire. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
In this Dawn of Fire series and Dark Imperium.
Oh, they're in Dark Imperium as well?
Yeah.
Oh. Just Custodes, or is it Sisters of Silence?
One of them is in it too. I don't want to spoil it, but like your favorite characters, or there's some more backstory there.
There's more backstory on Alea and Valerian in.
No. Oh, well, not those characters. Yeah,
So not my favorite character.
but not your favorite. Yeah, sorry.
Sister Augusta.
I don't know. I can't
Okay.
remember. I just read them and I was like, oh, I'm glad there was like a reading order. Someone recommended that you read Dark Imperium if you're going to spend the time to read Dawn of Fire.
Got
And I'm
it.
glad I took that advice because they're really good. They're pretty, it's a quick series, like 3 books. Really good read. Good
Right,
writing.
because you said some of it is like this is happening in tandem, right?
Yeah, they did there's a note at the beginning that says they updated the timeline. So it's like, I can't remember. So it makes sense with the Dawn of Fire books, basically what they have.
Got it. Yeah. That makes sense.
Because you know how in the Dawn of Fire, I guess it's kind of a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. The spoiler alert emote.
There's the whole thread about the Custodes, not leaving Terra,
Mm-hmm.
and how that's a big decision, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Dark Imperium is like, it kind of ignores that that was ever a decision to be made,
Got it.
and so then they kind of had to backpedal a little bit. And
I mean, in some ways, that sort of didn't seem like it was really their decision as much as, being voluntold into the Indominus Crusade by Gilliman. As everyone really is, right?
right. He's got a hard job.
Gilliman?
Yeah.
Is it a job, or is it, like, life's mission? Does he get paid?
Just roll.
So, military people get paid. Does the Imperium pay? Is there a payroll?
I don't think they've really gone into that detail. There's a lot of little practical things
I have
they don't
questions.
really cover, yeah.
I have questions. These are things I think of when I'm reading a book. Because, like, the historitors, that's like a proper job. The title, but it seems like mostly what they get paid in is sort of housing and food. Like I like that part of it, like with the historitors and then the adepts, and the people at the beginning. What were they? It was like all this.
You're reminding me of these people that watch Star Wars and they're like trying to figure out how many janitors are on the Death Star, and how many janitors Luke killed. Like just innocent janitors.
Wow,
that seems like where you're kind of going, though.
No, but I mean, you kind of think about it, right? There's a lot of people that work in the Imperium. It goes to the 41st millennium thing. Like, okay, so we have crazy, flying machines that can go through warp and time and space and all this stuff, but, we're still at war. We haven't solved peace yet. So did we decide that we're going back on currency, and currency is really your job and you get paid in, food, water, and sustenance, or
imperial credits?
Relics? Imperial credits.
Sounds like a thing.
Isn't that what they're called in...
See, now what I think about similarly is like when they describe like, the big space fortresses and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or some of the size of some of the battle cruisers and stuff. What I'm thinking about is like, where do they get all the resources? You like you have to destroy a moon or something to...
Well, isn't that sort of what there's a sister's book that I read that basically talked about that some of these worlds and moons of the worlds are mines.
Right.
Yeah, and they're basically nothing left. And that's where a lot of the hive world kind of underbelly Necromunda style stuff flourishes, because these communities have been raped and pillaged in such a way because all the natural resources are gone.
Right.
See, they answered that question.
Oh, okay. I mean, they answered it, but I'm still like, sometimes they describe just the number of derelict ships out there and everything.
Right.
Like the one that was like, I don't know how many miles across, right? Just like a conglomeration of all these ships, and it's just like, so in my mind I'm like, how many resources was it? Just iron, and just the cost of getting iron into space. I don't know, just things like that. It's very similar to like when I get really caught up on like, if I ever read a book about alien invasion of Earth, right? Like, I think the economics of an alien civilization going across the galaxy for our water, or just to murder us, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you would spend so much to just get across the galaxy. Unless there's like that's where it has to be like a wormhole or something, but still there's like an energy cost to that, traveling that far. Yeah, anyway. I digress.
I mean, did you hear the news this week? The CIA, the Pentagon, whoever, somebody came out and effectively said, first of all, I didn't realize that they had like a commander of UFOs, or like some title that is specific to, the alien program, like the potential for alien life. Fascinating. He basically came out and said, yeah, there's a possibility that there is a alien mothership in our solar system, because there was that strange, it was a couple years ago even, and it was just not too long ago that it had made some movements. It's this like They don't know if it's a meteor or a rocket or whatever. And it was just like a weird statement. And of course, the internet has been like, wait, I'm sorry. The director of the CIA or Pentagon or whoever it was said, what now?
You just read a science fiction book and then was just like, without thinking, just said something.
Maybe.
Like that.
I mean, but should the director of the Pentagon be just reading, like saying random stuff like that?
That seems pretty weird, yeah.
It was really bizarre. I need to research the article further to understand exactly what the statement was, but it was quite shocking. Oh, raiding with a party of 3. We're being raided. I don't actually know what raiding is. I am fascinated that this is happening to me. Well, that's cool. Well, while you're here, raid, subscribe.
What's happening?
It's a raid. There's this thing called a raid.
Did we do something wrong?
I don't think we did anything wrong. Also, your title says this is a rerun. Oh, that's unfortunate. We're not rerunning. I am new to this. I am new to all the streaming, and I'm very new to using Streamlabs. So I will yell at Streamlabs and try and see if we can get out. No, nothing wrong. Okay. Well, thanks for raiding. Do appreciate being raided. That's so weird. I don't see anywhere. There. I updated. Thank you for joining. Thanks for raiding. It should now no longer say that we are a rerun. That's fascinating. That might explain a lot as to why nobody has shown up besides you guys raiding. So, can you explain to me what a raid is? What happens? What do you raid? Do I have
is there booty involved?
Do I have a loot box I don't know about? I'm very confused. Raid is basically when a streamer ends their stream. Oh, that's awesome. See, this Twitch stuff, it's actually very community friendly. So basically somebody ends their stream and sends all of their viewers to your stream. That's cool. I'm gonna do that.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of Yeah, you may. Oh, I may have a loot box. I need to figure out how to get a loot box. I do have a lot of extra minis sitting around waiting to be painted and primed.
Right.
I am more than welcome to find a better home than my nonsense here. If anybody wants some terrain, when you hit 100 or 1,000 people, raid when you used to having. That really sounds stressful. Yes, I am not used to having anywhere near those numbers. Maybe we'll get there. Only if people like sitting and talking about Warhammer as much as we do. Or apparently aliens. 'Cause 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. How are your poxwalkers going over there?
My poxwalkers?
Or your...
So, I got all the horns painted. Base is all just base. I'm going to do these guys green flesh. Do a couple like kind of a pinky flesh.
Sorry you're having bad weather. That is never fun. Seems like that's the state of things lately. This has been a weird spring. Very odd. Pulling out some more poxwalkers.
Yeah, just as a comparison, because I've got so these are kind of just the basic skin that I do. That's the Cadian flesh with I don't know if you can really see it, but it's like there's a little bit of a purple wash there, and then a lot of yellow pus.
Hashtag poxwalker.
Yeah.
The aliens are listening. They're very confused.
And then what I've been doing is making the cysts or whatever they are, making those yellow. So I think on the green skins I'm gonna make, I'll do probably a pink like a pasty white and pink pus. That's just the weirdest thing about playing Nurgles, just the things that come out of my mouth.
The weirdest thing about playing against a Nurgle is looking over and just seeing like a bottle stuck out of the side of one of your Poxwalkers that's, you know, attacking a sister of the Imperium. It seems so...
Right. Yeah, so my kill team for the Grand Tournament is a army I've already been playing. It's 3 Plague Marines and 8 Poxwalkers, but I'm repainting them just for the tournament. It's my objective bases. And then I'm going to do Nurgling barricades.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah. I think that'll be funny. I'm certain to lose probably all my games, but hopefully my opponent will have fun.
I think you'll win a few games.
Yeah,
however, my whole goal is to just not make anybody upset with me. That I've forgotten a rule or cried because, you know, my sister superior has died, and the 3rd time this week she's died, and it's just breaking my heart.
Alright. This is a new recipe I'm trying. It's one of Duncan's. So it's base of iron rack skin and then a wash of Beal tan green. So let's see how this goes.
I feel like
his stuff is just almost, yeah, that's going to be cool. His stuff is always pretty spot on. So what were you saying?
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, I think, you know, I may be a little too nervous to be excited about the kill team tournament part of going, but I'm really excited about the painting, to do the painting classes, and
right.
I think that will be.
We signed up for 2, right? The Demon Prince and what was the other one?
The big one. Did we do painting faces?
Painting faces or non-metal metal.
We definitely didn't do non-metallic metal.
I think it's painting faces.
I think we did painting faces. I don't think I am near ready for non-metal metallic. I like my metallic. I like my gold. I think I've used an entire bottle of bronze myself on sisters over the past year.
Yeah, I think this is going to work out. Definitely green.
I'm also very curious. I noticed there's like a 40K pub quiz or Warhammer pub quiz.
Oh, yeah.
One of the nights.
You okay?
Stuck in my blanket. I've got a blanket over my lap because I'm cold, and kicked it off, and now I'm slowly killing myself with it. Yeah, I'm really interested to know what kind of questions they would ask, if I have any answers whatsoever. That feels like something that could be highly competitive as well. As pub quiz can get.
can't remember what convention I was at, but I sat in on the it was Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons style pub quiz, and just my age, the amount of time I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons, I was like, I got this, and I didn't. Like, there was just some deep lore and stats and
Yeah.
that I didn't know.
Besides just a regular, everyday pub quiz, the only other pub quiz I've ever been to that was themed was an X-Files pub quiz. And needless to say, none of the people I was with knew anything, but we still got third place. Because I am a wealth of useless X-Files knowledge. Half of my brain is just Mulder quotes.
So I think it's gonna dry up that wash. Yeah, the detail on these boxwalkers, and honestly, the well, they're not new anymore, but all the sisters models, those are some fun models to paint. They just have so many little details on the level icons.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, even just the detail on this terrain, like, I didn't realize when I started some of the Calnath stuff just how much work it was going to be when I said, yes, I'm going to paint every single wire red. Oh, there's wires across the entire thing. Right. Magical.
All right. Consult my paint recipe book, which I need some work here. So now I'm going to do what I call Flesh A, which is basically kind of a human, a heavily tanned flesh, I guess. So it starts with Acadian flesh tone.
Holy cow.
What?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm officially overwhelmed. Thank you for raiding. I do love a good raid, but 64 viewers is certainly our all-time maximum. Welcome. We are currently getting ready to go to a wonderful event in Tacoma, Washington in July. We're going to go to the there's so much going on. Sister Battle, yes, welcome. Thank you guys so much. Much appreciated. Thank you for following. Much appreciated. So we're getting ready. I'm just painting some random stuff. This is chaos painting for me tonight. I'm literally going from my basilica, just dousing this thing with some, contrast to get it to do what I want. Painting my good sister, I forget if, Immolator, I believe. Will's over here actually doing something useful. Actually doing something useful and painting his diorama and pieces for the grand tournament. Mine is just in pieces. Mine is just, everything is in pieces.
You want to show the diorama?
Oh, yeah, we can show this. There we go. We're passing things along. So this is Will's diorama, as you can see. Do you want to describe it?
Yeah, it's just a wasteland, and it's for the Death Guard kill team, and so the...
Oh, yeah. This is the best part. This is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Magnets.
We do as
my
much
champion up there.
magnets as possible.
And then down here will be a bunch of pox walkers.
Yes.
And then what I'm really proud of is I got my objective bases and for barricades and then these nurglings.
No, these are my favorite.
Wait, where does this one go? Right there.
Yeah. Is this not the best barricade you've ever seen? This is, I don't know where I'm pointing. There we go. There we go. We'll get it in there. Perfect. Love it. Yeah, I need to do more magnetization. This is something that somebody pointed out to me that I didn't realize when I was building my... I just finished putting these together. Still need prime, clearly. I was struggling to figure out what I wanted to do because there's so many good options. Changing out heads and the staff tops, and I should have magnetized things. You can magnetize and then change it out.
Oh, the weapon loader?
Oh.
Yeah.
It was too little too late because now I'd have to rip it apart, but I am this close to buying another set of the exalted sorcerers just to be able to do magnetization on the heads, because I would love to be like, nope, I want this head today. Wish I could do that for myself.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like wearing wigs, right? It's a little like wearing a wig.
All right. I'm gonna make one more green, right? I've got.
I mean, the green is good.
The green's good. Yeah, I'll still do another green skin.
The green is really good.
And then like 3 of the heavily tanned, and then couple pinkish ones.
Yeah, have you used, there's that like pink flesh tone color, I don't remember what the name of it is,
right.
But there's like a really pink one. I think that would be cool. And I'm going to continue to paint everything in the Sisters Universe bronze, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Magnetizing weapons. It's not worth it to magnetize. Just get another model. Oh, you are really... Like, I know I should just get another model, and you haven't seen my world of shame.
Oh my God.
My world of shame. This thing behind me, okay, we're trying to be organized. We're desperate for organization in our lives. You can see, nice, cute little, oh look, to be primed is 3 at the top.
Wait, pull out one of the to be primed. I can't even remember what's in there.
Well, these are actually primed. I've got some more sisters. I've got some Hortensia. I think this is the only to be primed. These are primed, and I need to paint. To be painted. So basically all of this, I think, is to be painted.
What's in to be painted?
That's a bunch of your,
Oh, that's some of the
Conan world. We've got nonsense. 50 models in your pile of shame. Oh, you win. Okay. I think you might win. Well, so, yes, we are organized. I have psychological problems, first of all. I need things to be organized. Second of all, we both have teenage children who, one is in the process of gonna move out in a few months, so we're almost, already taking over his room. Poor kid. My stepdaughter has already moved out, and we're in her room, and we basically turned it into Warhammer Central. So yes, the to be painted. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's all of the boarding actions, and then my favorite ones are actually these, which is it takes the shame pile to a different thing. It's the I can't throw away any sprue possible, because there might be something useful on it.
There might be, yeah.
There might be something. And so we have just sprues. This one is specific for all of Will's Death Guard. I've got one for the sisters, one for my corn models. We've got one that is just...
You got one for just corn now, too?
Hey, you know what? Leave my corn pile of shame. Well, it's corn, it's bloodletters, it's all demons, I guess. It's because it's demonettes and all of that nonsense as well.
Yeah, they won't get along very well in the same box.
The demonettes and the bloodletters?
Yeah.
They can be on the same kill team.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh, right.
Demons.
Yes, right.
Demons get along. That's why I've separated them from the sisters. My home office, yes. 20%, 60% stream area. I feel like we've over-indexed in some ways on stream area, if you were to see all of the nonsense and stuff around us, you'll see how many contraptions there are now since we started doing the streaming. When we do like a kill team game, when we view this way,
we have a lot of kinks to work out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of kinks.
Yeah.
It's certainly, I think, I didn't realize just how easy it is to go to a Warhammer store and end up leaving with an army. I'm never, like, if I'm lucky if I paint it, much less if I actually put it together, and then, God forbid, I actually play it. Like, I've only ever played the Sisters, and I've only ever played the Novitates, because I've never actually played 40k fully. That's our next step, is to teach me how to play 40k so I can use these beautiful, big, giant models.
So my observation of it's just kind of a weird thing going on when you go to Games Workshop stores, but it's like...
Get ready, people!
You get drawn to the paint area, and then if there's any shade of blue, and with Citadel paints there's like, 100 shades of each color. If there's any shade of blue that you have not already purchased, you're like, oh, look at this blue. And then I, like, with no plan on what you would actually use it for.
It's true.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, blue. I think you just like bottles of blue paint.
Oh, it's so
and
accurate.
What are you painting that even has blue?
These are going to be blue.
They're going to be blue. Keyword.
Okay, their hair is blue. Their hair is blue. My Demonette's hair is blue.
Right. You have used
I have
blue.
a lot of blue hair, basically.
Yeah.
A Tau army 20 years ago.
Oh,
you and Will can have a Tau army 20 years ago chat.
Yeah. Was that... I'm trying to remember. I was trying to tell Claire, I started 40k with the Tau. And was that... It's whenever the Tau was released. Was that 20 years ago?
Maybe, because when I was looking at the old White Dwarves, it was a while ago. Like, those were...
Right,
Those were 90s, which is, unfortunately, 20 years ago.
Let me pull one down here.
So, I have a lot of questions about Age of Sigmar, because I tend to gravitate towards those models. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're probably 20 years old now. I went to... I love playing the Tau.
Do you think you'll ever... Because I started Kill Team with the Calnath army Novitates, and that comes with the... what is it? The Pathfinder Tau?
Right, yeah.
Do you think you'll ever...
Pathfinder version.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here's a stealth suit. Oh, yeah, I should play these guys again. I really love playing the Tau. Did this person say they did a blue Tau army?
I don't know.
Did that come up in the context of blue? I don't know.
This was in the context of all of the crap we all have that we never... that just sits there. Yes. Box to tabletop. I feel old, too. I don't want to think that, like, every time somebody says 20 years ago, I'm like, yeah, 1980. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Certainly isn't, I was at the grocery store, and this is going to shock us all. 2002, I think? 2002 kids can now drink as of starting this year? Like, 2002. That was 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah, I was floored when I saw the sign. And they stick it in your face at the grocery store now because it's, self-checkout, so you have to look at it every day and, do the backwards math, and it's terrifying.
These Poxwalkers pretty much explain what kind of 40k player I am, because I am on, 60 Poxwalkers, because I have this idea of a horde army, and I have yet to even play it to see if it'll even be fun to play. But I sure love painting it.
Yeah.
It'll look cool while I'm losing.
I still think that if you do the big horde army, you kind of have to go in on the zombie type theme. Like, it's basically Walking Dead,
Right.
but 40K version.
So I have to have like a Rick Grimes Poxwalker?
Yeah, you've got to find one, I don't know. You could take one of my leftover Condemner stake throwers and give it to them. And that could be Daryl.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You got to have a Carol.
Get a sheriff's hat on one of them.
Yes, I bet you could.
I could totally do that.
Totally find
someone
stuff
will,
3D,
someone will
3D
get that,
printed.
yeah.
Somebody would get it. And like I obsessively name all of my sisters because I have problems. 2002 was a year into my first job out of college. Exactly. And now that age can drink. Or, I guess, smoke pot in something in the vicinity of 20 states and the UK. Yeah, it's bananas to me. How many... I don't know. Are these considered models, or is that considered a model? Is everything a model? This is terrain. What is this? Everything's a model.
Well, it's a vehicle.
It's a vehicle.
It depends on what context you're talking.
It's a people carrier.
Like, there are rules that will specify, whether something's a vehicle or not. Monster vehicle.
What is it's the 40K app where I put in all of my stuff?
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, there's that little army builder thing I showed you.
Yeah. Oh, the army builder.
Right.
Yeah, when I put everything into the army builder, I have like 6,800 points in Battle Sisters. Not all painted, mind you.
And not a shred of blue.
And not a shred of blue.
Just pointing that out.
It is just all kind. Well,
You should do 1,000 Suns just so you can use all your blues. I think.
He's not wrong. We went to the local hobby store so that I could get some more contrast basilicum gray so I could paint this nonsense terrain and get it to where I needed it to be. And I ended up, it was a buy two, get one free, buy 50% off bin, which is my crack. Like, if I see a sale, it's like, oh yes.
And the first thing you pulled out of there was a blue jar.
Well, what was funny, it was a blue dry, which I love dry brushing. It's my favorite thing ever. It's like actual magic happening. And then what happened? What did I pull out? Another blue dry. So I came home
with two different
blue dry paints that I don't even know what the different, like, they're minutia different, which would be fine, except I also had just bought a blue dry paint, so I now have 3 blue dry paints from the lovely people at Citadel, who I am personally keeping in business. Yes. I had a 3-year-old and 2... Yes, exactly. Yes. He has... your daughter's 2002, mine's 2005. Right. Yeah. The universe is telling you to use blue. I know. Apparently...
Telling you to play 1,000 Suns.
I do want to play the 1,000 Suns. They seem very interesting. I think these models are bonkers. And I'm quite... I'm quite thrilled with my ingenuity of trying to really do something cool, kind of messing it up, and then figuring out how to fix my problem through tools that I had as being a female. So I got these little bricks, just, they're kind of, I don't even know what they're made out of. It's literally feels like a brick material, off Amazon. They're for, building whatever other type of model, train kind of stuff. And then I used the...
they're these things here.
Yeah, they're great.
These are great. It is actual clay, too, so you can,
I think so. And you can clip them.
Clay.
You can clip them with a plier or a cutter really easily. I love that there's like a castle on the front. That's what they're made for.
Funny, yeah.
And then I just used it's the Pro Acryl basing stuff, right?
It is, yeah.
And it's like the cement. And so I was like, I'll use that as like, the cement in between the bricks. Well, needless to say, it stuck to the clay bricks quite handily. The concrete. It's AK concrete.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's AK.
Yeah.
Acrylic concrete. The AK acrylics are amazing.
They're really good, but it doesn't stick to the plastic or anything that's been primed very well, but it stuck quite well to the clay bricks, and so I was really sad because it didn't fill in, and then so I tried to water it down, and that caused an even bigger mess. It was dripping all over the place, and so I just kind of like, put a huge thick layer on, and then I realized, I could probably sand that down. So I thought, I'd use some sanders, but then I was like, I'm gonna go through 100 of these, and I don't know why. I'm a woman. My nails are done. Whatever. Like, I was like, I have a bunch of these kind of things, and then I realized I have what is effectively a Dremel for nail stuff, and it's, an electric nail file. It worked like a charm. It's perfect. Like, I basically got the exact same vibe from if I were doing grout, on a deck or building stairs. Like, it was perfect. I'm super excited. So I think these will paint up really well. So yes. Now what I need to figure out is with my Exalted Sons, what I'm gonna run with them. And I also.
Oh, you mean between demons or more Marines?
Yes. Oh, you can run demons with them? Oh, the Thousand Sun demons.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't realize.
What are they actually called?
Yeah, they're not called demons. They're something else. I'd have to grab the book. I'm sure someone. Thank you. Much appreciated. Chaos demons and Death Guard. Which chaos demons? I have a bin if you'd like some extra sprues for your chaos demons.
Right. Back to Thousand Suns kill team. It's either Rubric Marines.
Yep.
Or I don't even know how to pronounce it. Sangors.
Me too.
Yeah, basically they're like little demons.
Okay. Yeah, they're kind of like wiry little guys.
Yeah. And you'll like it. They're blue.
They're blue, yeah. I need to listen to the universe. Yes, I have an Exorcist. That's what this one is. The Immolator is the other one that I have yet to paint. I also have a Rhino that is half painted. I didn't realize how much work it was going to be to paint a tank, and so I started 3, because that's how I roll. Oh, I can run Zench demons with 1,000 Suns. That's awesome. 1 a.m. Yeah, go to sleep. Well, thank you for joining. Much appreciated, A Night Whisper. Come back anytime. Nurgle mostly. Okay, so
I love me some Nurgle.
we got another Nurgle. There's a lot of Nurgle going on in this house, I'm telling you. The 60 Poxwalkers alone. And I'm not gonna lie, I am going to, for my diorama, because I'm doing the sisters, and it's the Novitates, and I've got 2 of the little Purgatus. I'm going to use one of them to be flaming, and I'm going to steal one of the little Nurglings and have that scattering running with some flames coming off of it.
I approve.
Yeah, it makes sense. They would be up there trying to get into my business. Finished your first Rhino today.
Which faction?
Well done. Is it a Sisters Rhino? Because they have the Exorcist, so I assume Sisters, but tell me if I'm wrong. What color scheme are you doing? I feel like this is the problem with the Sisters. They have all of these well-built, orders, right? The Order of the Bloody Rose, Our Martyred Lady. Like, maybe it's the recovering Catholic in me, but a part of me is like, I need to know their color scheme, and I have to pay, pay everything. When you go to procural school, anybody, list, you get it if you've gone, what it's like. It's in your blood. You are constantly guilty about things you didn't even know you should be guilty about. It's a sister. Oh, Sacred Rose. Ooh, the white armor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so hard.
That's hard to pull off.
That's hard. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, I would love to see it. The white stuff scares me. Like, we saw a Messinius, one of the Messinius, the new, it's like a special edition.
Right.
And I almost bought it, but then I was like, oh, he'd have to be white.
Here, if we go the Wayback Machine 20 years ago, Here's the last time I painted something white, and it was 20 years ago, and it was this Space Marine. I did like a kind of a U.S. Marine Corps themed, and this is the Apothecary.
What is the U.S. Marine Corps theme?
This is the Apothecary was white.
Oh, okay.
And like this, like I had these beaky jump pack Marines. So like they're like olive green with like little stars on them.
Yeah, those are very military.
Yeah, they looked cool on the table. They have like custom suppressors. Yeah, this is like, I think these were these are dusty. These are like the first ones. 20 years. These are the first ones.
That's 20-year-old dust right there. Don't breathe that in too heavily.
My first 40K army. But I kid you not, this is the last time. This is the last time I painted white because it was so hard.
This is your first army and you chose Sacred Rose Sisters? Yeah. I bow to your, I like balls, like that's just aggressive self-hate. Like every time I pick up a sister, I am glad that I chose the easy world that is the our sacred, or I've done some in Sacred Rose, or not Sacred Rose, Bloody Rose, and some in Our Murdered Lady because they're easy.
They look really good too, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
they've done some really good color schemes.
They have.
Or the sample color schemes they have. And I mean, you know, like anyone at Games Workshop will even be the first to say that the great thing about the hobby is like those are, you know, you can do like the canonical factions and, you know, but it's really just inspiration for, you know, whatever scheme you want to come up with.
Which, again, I totally get, but the recovering Catholic in me has to make it what it is in that book, at least for the sisters. I will go
Otherwise you'll be struck down or something.
Yeah, the Emperor will not protect. I will be rolling all ones.
Yeah. The Emperor does not protect this color scheme.
Yes, this is what will happen. You just gotta dive in. Hi, Midwest. Nice to... Oh gosh, there are followers happening, and I can't even see them. Got lots going on. Thank you guys. Yes, I think the thing about picking a color scheme too is you don't realize how difficult it's going to be until you put on those first couple of coats of paint, and especially with anything white, right? It is finding the right white, finding a white that doesn't take 15 coats and then get really dodgy. There's actually Broadsword Games did a YouTube post recently about picking the right white, and she ended up picking, Kara picked the same one that I would have picked. I think she picked one that I hadn't heard of, was her number one choice, but number two is the Pro Acryl Bright Titanium White.
That does work pretty well.
It's thick, it covers, it coats. I don't feel like I have to put a bunch of coats on when I do paint things in white, which I've done a few times. Like every time I do sister hair, I just hate myself
sister hair,
a little bit.
I have to say, whenever I see well done sister hair, I'm like,
it is an art. There is an art to making the sister hair.
There is. It looks like really the simplest part, but it's not.
It's not. It is not. Honestly, Tim Paints. I don't know what his real name is, but he's on YouTube and Insta. His sister hair is like chef's kiss perfect. I wish that I had the eyesight to be able to do what he does in general.
Oh, right. He gets all the little...
like hairs. He makes hair
strands. It looks textured,
It's bananas. Oh, gosh. I just paint what I feel. You know... Good on you. Like, paint what moves you. That's what Will does.
That's why I like Nurgle so much. You can just make so many mistakes, and it's like, Nurgle. Just, it's Nurgle. That's
just some Nurgly.
That's decay.
Oh, Midwest is painting some Black Templars.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh, White Scar. Yeah, the White Scar works. White Scar paint works good too. I think that one. Oh, so you're painting, you're doing a base of white scar with spray and then adding apothecary white. Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe I will have to take on a white sister or
Yeah,
two.
I do think this is a challenge before you dip into like things blue. You should you should get the hair down, the
I
white
need to
hair,
get
the sister's hair.
The hair. It's
Next level,
it's
your
a
sister's
it's
army.
a it's a vibe. The sister hair is a vibe. It is its own thing. It lives independent from the rest of the sister.
What's funny is when I was watching you paint your sisters, I was thinking, oh, I would like to paint sisters. But then I thought to myself, but I'm going to make their hair black.
Well, I did do a couple of them black.
You did, yeah. It's like, I'm just going to avoid this whole white issue.
Yes, my sister, it's basic sister hair is completely okay. Don't you worry. Nurglings are meant to be multicolored.
It's like a meme, sister hair.
Sister hair. Yes, hashtag sister hair. You heard it here first, people. Apothecary white is an odd paint. Well, the name alone makes me think that it's got some stuff going on with it.
All right, consult my recipe book here.
You're going with the color. So what are you making your Black Templars color? Blue? I've got some blue paint that you can use. If you haven't been following along over the last 30 minutes, it's turned out that I have a lot of blue paint that I've never painted anything, but actually some hair. I have painted blue hair on my Blues Barb Archers and my Demonettes. So their hair is a lot easier than the sisters, mind you, because you can just dry brush the hell out of it. If you also haven't been paying attention, big fan of dry brushing. Big fan. Big fan.
I
know that it's easy.
No, it's not easy. I mean, there's levels of dry brushing for sure, and but the Citadel dry brush paints are really impressive.
They are,
you know?
and if you haven't used the Citadel dry brush paints, I will say though, it was alarming the first time I opened one because I didn't realize that the consistency was going to be so goopy and like almost.
There's a trick to using them. It took me like a couple times, but once, and I thought it was a little gimmicky.
Yeah.
I was never going to get them. You know, I was like, all right, I know how to dry brush. And then I bought one, and it was the silver, the Necron, to do all that terrain.
Oh.
And that was like, it
the
saved so much time. It
Necron compound.
Yeah,
Whew.
it went on really well. Yeah, Necron,
I've used a lot
a vat of Necron compound.
Well, because I use it for the sisters a lot.
Nuln oil, we need like a tub of Nuln oil next to a tub of.
I believe, if you're listening, good people of Games Workshop Citadel, you should make a refillable. Make those little pots of Nuln oil are refillable. Just give me a squeeze bottle. I will buy a 64-ounce Nuln oil. Full stop. Wouldn't even blink an eye.
I don't know why, but I just would like to have 64 ounces of Nuln oil.
Just to say.
Just like, right, a big.
In the kitchen. Just put it next to the olive oil.
Like in a pump drum, right? Like a little.
One of the 4 armies. What else do you have, Midwest? We're talking armies here tonight. With Black Templars is one. Yeah, it is. It's really spongy. It's very but the white, the proxy white is actually a little different. It's not quite as spongy. And the metallic ones are really weird and spongy. The white honestly kind of looks like cottage cheese. I thought something had gone off with the paint when I first opened it, but it's it is the best thing to dry brush with. I did all of the Sisters of Silence, all of their, basically everything, the highlights on the hair and highlights on their gloves and all of the fur with just that and some Pro Acryl darker light umber, dark and light umber. Totally got an amazing look. That stuff was really impressive. And release the gloss Nuln oil.
Yeah, we accidentally. That's a good. Someone brought that up. We accidentally bought gloss, and we were like not sure what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
What does one do? When do you want glossy
Yes,
oil?
when do you pull it out?
Tau, Night Lords. Oh, what is Leagues of Voton?
Oh, that's the newer one. It's like it's the old new, or it's a space dwarves basically.
The Space Wars. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't had them for years.
Got it.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. Those are. I bet the detail on those models is amazing.
Space Dwarves different than Space Vikings. They're not a part of.
Well, Space Vikings is Space Wolves. That's a starting.
Space Wolves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Space Dwarves is like a whole different thing.
I have to have nicknames for all of the different things to remember. Space Wolves, Space Dwarves. I want to like the Space Vikings, but one of the books that they had in the Dawn of Fire series didn't make me like them. Give me another book that makes me like the Vikings, because I do like myself some Vikings, but I didn't like the Space Vikings. They seemed like they had some attitude problems. And I like the sisters, who definitely have attitude problems. Photon is such lame helmets. Oh, painting faces. Don't even get me started.
What was it? What was the comment about Photon?
They have such lame helmets.
Oh.
In the hobby for 2 years. Oh, if 2 years is a noob, then I'm an infant. I am an infant. I've been a year? Just over a year? No. I think I bought my first. Well, as I do, this will tell you what kind of mini person I am. I painted my very first mini in 2000.
It was like pandemic.
18, 19? Oh. No, it was before pandemic. It was at the townhome before we moved in together. I think it was right after you met Berlin, because it was Berlin and I and you painting in the kitchen. And it was like maybe 2008, 2009. And I painted a unicorn, and I was quite terrible.
I remember the unicorn.
I don't know where it's around here somewhere. It wasn't that bad, but I certainly wasn't really trying, because I never thought I would get into mini painting. And I've done acrylic painting, proper, canvas kind of painting and watercolor canvas and all of that, and thought that I would just stick with that. And then they were all having so much fun painting these things, and Will's got all of this stuff. And then I wanted a new book series, and I started reading Danny Ware's sisters' books and got super into the lore of this character, the Sister Augusta character. And I was like, these are amazing. So then I, on my own, with my son, Will at home, went to Mugu Games, bought myself a stack. I didn't just buy just a sister to start off. No. I bought the Battle Sisters Squad. I bought the Saint Celestine model set. And I bought, what else did I buy? Is that when I bought the palette, the single palette?
I have to admit, I was pretty shocked. I was quite unexpected.
And I came home, and this was in the pandemic at this point. And, I don't remember exactly how it all went down, but Will was like, that's the hottest thing anybody's ever done, right? This guy who's been painting these for, 25 years. And then I proceeded to mess everything up because I didn't wait for his help.
When you were putting them together, right.
He was occupied, and I wanted to start doing this, and, Lord knows what I was thinking. And I just clipped everything off the sprues of the Saint Celestine models, which are, if you know them, very particular, small, tiny little bits. And I just clipped everything off. And then I had laid them all out, right? I saw, I can read instructions. I've put enough IKEA stuff together, put them all out. But then that table got cleaned off. the table got cleaned off and they all got shoved back into the box. Just little bits and sprues shoved into the box. And then it was when, Will was like, oh yeah, let's put your models together. And just the look of absolute horror on his face of what I had done. But luckily enough, it was the Saint Celestine models, and the model, like, it's one big model and two smaller models if you're not familiar, and so they're very different enough that I could, figure it out and put them all together. But I learned very quickly to, piece at a time, single piece at a time, take them all apart, make sure you've got the time to put the model together before you, I have learned a lot in the last 18 months, mostly from big mistakes like that one.
Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna. I thought you were gonna just have to.
Thanks for the follow.
Spend another $50, honestly. I was like you.
I mean, I also really love jigsaw puzzles, so I'm like, it's kind of my niche. If anybody could have figured it out, it's me.
That's right. It's 3 models. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big Celestine Living Saint, and then the 2 Seraphim. So it wasn't the worst. Like, if I would have done that, say, with the whole Battle Sister squad, I probably would have, I don't know, burned the house down to get rid of it all. I'm not sure what I could have done.
So I'm trying a new flesh recipe here in my Poxwalkers. The idea here is I've got 8 Poxwalkers that I'm painting specifically for the Kill Team tournament in the Grand Tournament in July. And so I want to mix up the flesh colors. And so I've got a green base. I've got what it's going to be like a very dark tan. And then this one is, what's the color? It's Rakarth flesh, which, what is that, a little pink?
Yeah, it's like a gray pink.
Yeah. And then I think the 4th one I'll do is something kind of yellow based, like kind of jaundice, right? Seems very poxy.
Sorry to everyone for Streamlabs chatbot getting upset at stuff. Sometimes it's just nonsense. Continue to make long posts. Don't listen to it. I need to up my game on figuring out how to do chat moderation on my own versus trying to let their automatons do it. I got the Space Marine starter set. Oh, wow. Started in October. Okay. You're officially a noob. I can call you a noob.
There's someone newer than you.
There's 2 people newer than me. And then there's somebody who, is 20 years in. We've got...
Right, yeah. That was the Tau player?
Yes. The other army I'm putting together right now is a Sister of Silence. Well, it's a Adeptus Custodes, but it's gonna be 2 Adeptus Custodes and a Sister of Silence.
Of the Empire. Right?
The Talons of the Emperor, yes. Is that what they're officially called? I think it's just called a Custodes.
I think for Kill Team it's Talons of the Empire.
Oh, okay.
Emperor.
I thought that was that box was Talons of the Emperor, the Alea, and because that's the book game. Right, you don't have to look.
I'm gonna look it up. I want to know.
Yeah, must know official names. In lore, Talons of the Emperor are sisters and Custodes together. Yeah, so it is actually called. Emperor, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Juno's Jungle Gym.
Oh, yeah. I should have just let...
Yeah, the chat knows all.
Yeah, it knows more than me.
This is why we're not going to be participating in the wide world of 40k Warhammer pub quiz. It's too much pressure. Too much pressure. You don't have to know... each individual person doesn't have to know everything. The chat, as a collective... knows all. Although There was one guy who was in the chat a couple days ago that I swear
He
knew everything.
He did know everything.
He knew everything.
Yeah. He was like,
I found out so much about my Thousand Sons.
Yeah.
He actually told me that I could run my Sisters of
Yeah.
Silence as a kill team army. Yeah, made my life. Made my life.
the paranoid side of me thinks it was just a 40K chatbot. But
It was just Chat GPT.
40K GPT, yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll do 2 like that. What do you?
Oh
right?
yeah,
it's
that's
kind
kind
of
of
it's a little paler, right?
Well, it's almost like maybe they're not quite fully like turned or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's he's a new poxwalker.
He's relatively new to the.
See,
to the-
there's noobs in everything. People,
the-
we're fine.
Yeah, he's new to the shambling.
They're very, very shambly.
They're just the best models because they're like a little bit of like. Well, there's detail. They're creepy, but they're also a little comical too, right? Like.
I mean, you can't really take them seriously when you're fighting them. Like, you've got this Novitate coming at this guy who's got a wrench.
Yeah.
And she's got, a triple blessed, fire
Chainsword or something,
sword, blah, blah, with Inferno, or a mace of righteousness. You're like, yes, okay. Although, didn't a Poxwalker kill?
I did.
Yeah.
I did kill your your melee.
I'm really
That
glad
was
that
the
we didn't
worst
stream
roll
that game because
Oh.
I was kind of sad. The
Yeah.
whole, I was rolling 1s and 2s, and if you combine that with your,
I was getting all my disgustingly resilient rolls
Yeah.
back away. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was I felt
like,
like the universe was.
in the
Having fun
Novatate's
with you.
kill team, there's a character, I don't remember, she's got this thing, a mace of righteousness. I don't remember the character's official title. I could probably tell you what given name is that I gave her. But it's like a 5/5 massive, beast of this flaming thing, and also does inferno damage.
Right. Yeah.
And I roll, two hits, regular hits, and I'm like, okay, he got 1 damage, and then destroyed me on the
Yeah.
kickback because
I got all crits.
you got all crits,
All crits.
On 3, and I was
And it's
like,
just 3, and I needed crits because it's 3 damage on crits
Yeah.
for these
Yeah.
guys. And I was like,
it was
what?
the most depressing thing,
And you were out of faith points.
and I was out of faith points.
Yeah, which never happens.
Oh.
Those things are like candy for you.
Well, it was because I kept forgetting to take him at the beginning of the turning point. I was not, or every time I killed something, I was not on my game. See, this is how I'm gonna die in the tournament. This is the I'm gonna.
My experience with
I'm gonna be
tournaments is like
so sad.
most of the people there, like, there's a level of competitiveness, but they're also like, they're good sports, and they make losing easy, right? Like,
They're all gonna be so much better than me. I don't mean that you're not. You are. But I've beat you in a couple of games.
Yeah,
There's a part of me
course,
that's
yeah.
like, this is actually competitive. I could win. Where I feel like when I'm... Here's my real concern, is that I'm a little... I'm not pressure, but these people do know a lot about my army, and if I do something wrong, they're going to be able to point it out, and then I'm going to feel bad because they're playing with a noob, and I just kind of want to really lose quickly so that I get put in with the other people
Yeah.
that lost games.
lose the first 2 games,
So
and
I
then
can
you're-
play with people
yeah.
more,
Then you're like the casual crowd.
yeah. I don't want to make somebody else feel like they're wasting their time.
What it doesn't look like they have anymore, but which they had when I used to go to 40K tournaments a way back when, was I got that good sportsmanship award. Yeah, so they had like other awards. that
Favorite
were
competitor.
favorite opponent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had the they still have the painting award, but they had just like a variety of awards, so it wasn't all just generalship.
Yeah. It's not just about winning.
Yeah. Because frankly, I'm not very good at the game. I do enjoy playing it. I'm just really in it for the lore, and the models are fun, and just like the narrative that comes out, like just the story you told about, that you went in with this big mace, and then a couple poxwalkers took her down.
That's something that I actually am curious, because I was thinking about this. I was thinking about writing some like little short stories based on our actual play, and just doing little videos where they're using our models and being like, and then writing a story about Adelita, my character, and this poxwalker, and something happened, and writing something around like, was it the faith, was it her lack of faith?
Like, you did write a couple summaries of our battles that were fun.
I did. Well, I liked doing that for our games. We do a lot of legacy board games as well. We've gotten really into the Arkham Horror living card game, and that has been, those are some of my best work, I think. Oh, or the Marvel card game. Those are my best work, with the pow.
Oh, yeah, Marvel.
Artwork along with it. Escalation League. What is an Escalation League? Semi-structured, and there technically is a leaderboard. It's mostly just for fun. Yeah, I think local board games is probably the most fun. Small Warhammer group.
Yeah,
seven
that
people.
Does sound like
That's
fun.
cool. Is your local group of 7 people, is that all? It's all from a shop, or are these people you knew beforehand? How do you get involved? Sounds like I need to start a crusade. How do I start a crusade? What is a crusade?
I think they're referring to narrative play.
Oh, okay. Escalation League is when you start playing at 500 points, and then the games get bigger every few weeks with a regular set of players. Oh, that sounds cool.
Sounds cool, yeah.
And that's 40K, so that you can start small. That's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a good way.
We'll have to look. We'll have to look and see if our local shop tonight, when we went and I bought all my blue paint, literally all blue paint.
She has a blue paint fetish.
I don't know if I'd call it a fetish as much as a draw.
Yeah.
It is my favorite. Like, my favorite color is blue.
You know what you should do is Ultramarines.
I have zero interest. I don't know anything about their narrative. Like, I need to know the story. This is why I need to understand more about some of the Age of Sigmar stuff, because I'm getting, like, someone tell me the story of a Blizzbarb Archer. I need to learn this. This is my new... I bought them because they're just fascinating models.
Yeah, this is how far you've come from Nude, is that, just to be clear, she's now buying models without even having a rule book for the game. I know nothing. I don't even have a fantasy army.
Blue is pretty. Yeah, respect the blue. There's nothing wrong with blue. 2 new members. Oh, there's another Black Templar and a Sisters of Battle player. Sisters of Battle seems to be slowly getting more and more popular. It gets pretty high on like those lists of overall win for Grand Tournament.
I mean, just playing even Kill Team with you, they look like a fun army to play. There's just a lot going on. They're very thematic. The models look really cool.
Space Wolves are technically blue, this person says.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I find it in my heart to not hate them anymore. It's all based on one book. It was just not a good book.
It's a very light blue too, so you do like the light blues.
Oh.
I'm glad someone pointed that out. Space Wolves are blue.
Okay, so is there a good book? I want to understand more about the space. I do like Vikings. I'm super into the...
Yeah, it's weird that you're into Vikings, you're down the 40K, hole, and you're like, I'm not gonna... And you like blue. Like, the stars are aligning, but for some reason...
Seriously. Vanilla Space Marines, gross. I think he's talking about the Ultramarines.
Oh, I love Ultramarines.
Have you painted ultramarines?
That's everything on the shelf right here.
As I'm looking at a shelf of blue.
I'm very proud of my ultramarines. I'm going to pull some.
The sisters are amazing. We have a tank with a pipe that shoots missiles. You are correct. And magic. And I mean, honestly, like, I don't know how you would ever pick any of the other helmets that come with this other than this one. Oh, come on. You can do it. There we go. It's just so cool. I love it.
Okay. So, here we go. How can you not like ultramarines? Look at these old models. These are just great. Look at that guy. All right, here, wait.
He says, yes, I am talking about ultramarines.
There's another ultramarine. Look at this guy with the blonde hair. Like, this is just like, this is so
He is
old school.
vanilla.
Yeah.
He's vanilla.
It's just like, you gotta, this is the basics. You gotta start with your, I feel like entry into 40K, you gotta paint some ultramarines. And then look at this guy with his chain sword.
Overplayed.
He's very angry. Look at him pointing somewhere.
Point.
Yeah, see? And this guy, he's on some sort of, he's talking to somebody.
Yeah, they all have walkie-talkies like they're really important. They all remind me of people who think they're really important. They're little walkies.
Yeah.
Why do you hate the Dark Eldar with a passion? Tell me. Tell me what is so wrong with the Dark Eldar. I mean, I don't like the Dark Eldar.
I'll tell you why I don't like the Dark Eldar.
I don't like them in Inquisitor.
I don't like them because the last tournament I played, I had my Tau, and I got Dark Eldar 3 games, and I was just annihilated. Like, it wasn't even fun. It was just complete annihilation 3 games in a row. They've got their skimmers that are better than Tau skimmers, and they can, close combat you, shoot you. Yeah. And then they do a bunch of stuff like if you're playing Dark Eldar, you have no idea what's going on. They're just explaining things. It's probably similar to playing Nurgle, right? It's like...
I mean, playing Nurgle, every once in a while he'll be like, well, I'm going to use the contagion with my flam belching, blah, blah, spewer that's going to... and...
You're pretty close, actually.
I'm making it up, but it's real. That's exactly
That's pretty close.
Yeah. Flame Belcher. Oh, yeah. Started out with Tau. Dark Eldar got wiped out in the first turn.
Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dark Eldar. We don't like them. I'm okay with this.
And it's also a little weird sometimes. Like, it's basically looks like a bondage train. Some of the armies, right? It's like it's like this BDSM army.
There's definitely a lot of that going around, which is always funny to me. That like the models are already, there's some that are a little bit, and then people go over the top with it. They add extra stuff. Every time I go searching for something for my army on Etsy, I have to delete, make sure I'm not doing it on a work computer. Never Etsy on a work computer.
Oh,
40K.
for sisters, right. Yeah, no, there's a lot of weird...
There's some stuff. I have questions. 20 followers. Who has a nun fetish?
Yeah.
I went to parochial school. I don't think any of those boys have anything good to think about nuns. Sisters also have a lot of, oh god, the Repentia. Oh my gosh, yes. They're already half nude. My god. Yes, why make it worse? Why make it worse? This is the one thing. We need more women to work at Warhammer. Will just discovered last night on the internet Warhammer World in Nottingham, England.
Oh my god.
Where I have lived, and I didn't know Warhammer then. I didn't know if Warhammer World existed back then, because that was, years and years ago. But he just discovered it. He's quite excited about the whole concept. Thank you, new follower. Much appreciated. And he, I think now kind of either wants to take a slightly long vacation into
Yeah, Nottingham.
to Nottingham, or possibly we may end up just moving, and I'm gonna find myself a marketing job with the good people of Warhammer, or telling them to not allow Repentia to get any more BDSM-y. Newer Repentia have actual clothes. Yeah. Oh, the old ones only had purity seals.
Did they really?
That's fascinating. Yeah, at least they've got real clothes now. I mean, that's kind of funny. I have like
now I'm gonna have to look that up.
now, yeah, it's a little funny. But yeah, we're coming into the 21st century or wherever we are, while we're talking about the 41st millennia. Oh, cracking me up. Yeah, the Repentia. That whole thing is really interesting to me too, and there are a couple of the sisters' books that describe them. Again, like so much of it is the ecclesiarchy in general is kind of this Catholic thing. Maybe that's why I got into them, because it reminds me of stuff I know, but it's really like repentance and that whole vibe. Yeah, I can see how it gets a little yeah, they're evil. I mean, honestly, not even like, and it's like the evil of piety and ultra religion. It's super fascinating, and they are brutal like, oh gosh, there's a couple of them, a couple of the books where you just realize, like, they'll kill anybody. They don't care. Kill each other. Oh, could you grab me another soda?
Yes.
I'm addicted to ginger beer. I have a psychological problem that makes me drink like 15 of these a week. I don't drink normal soda. Awesome. Oh, follower number 13. Thank you so much, Grev1138. I need my glasses to see all this stuff. Yeah, I think there's so much to be seen in some of the lore. I'm really fascinated. I'm trying to find more about the Sisters of Silence lore. Thank you. The Sisters of Silence lore seems to be few and far between. There's not a lot of books on them. I read Something Serpent. That one was really good, but it was a short, I think it was 30 pages. And if you haven't read it, it's very different than the sisters that are in any of the Talons of the Emperor books or all of that. My go-to ginger beer is Fever Tree. I like the light version. It doesn't have any excess, but this one, they didn't have them. So this is the regular Fever Tree. The other one, that Will just brought me is the Q Light, and I hate these.
Oh!
No. He didn't know that because I'm the one that put it in the refrigerator. But the light, they have agave nectar in them, which is, I don't know, I don't like the agave. That's what they use as the sweetener. No, that's, I'll drink it because they need to get drink. I'm not going to throw them away. I won't be that wasteful. But yeah, the Fever Tree, oh, so good, so good. There's I don't know if is Rachel's ginger beer local?
No idea.
Rachel's is good too. I think they've gotten bigger, but they were kind of local. Cause there was like a whole shop, and they started off, I think, in the restaurant industry here. Oh my gosh, my eyes are starting to go buggy.
That is a really amazing model.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at it, like, the number of textures alone, there's wood on the back, there's all the metal, there's obviously, like, whatever, is it the adamantium, I imagine, is the texture of the actual, what it's made out of, the armor type stuff. There's...
I think isn't adamantium like X-Men? Like Wolverine?
Isn't that what it's called?
Well, there's ceramite, and then there's... Yeah, I could be wrong, I don't know.
Am I wrong? Is adamantium is a thing in 40K? Thank you.
It is okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wolverine's talons are also, or claws are also adamantium. I thought I mentioned this, and you were like, "No, you're talking about." I'm pretty sure ceramite is a thing, and that's like the covering of the armor. But then there's like the thicker stuff,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
and then there's the Terminator stuff.
Well, that's just Terminator armor.
But is that ceramite? Is that adamantium?
Yeah, I think it's just saying.
Reed's is good. Reed's is good. Yeah, Reed's is good. I like anything that uses real ginger. Like, I feel like some of the stuff. I'm wrong. Sorry. Wolverine's whole skeleton is adamantium.
His skeleton is adamantium.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, because they injected that in.
Aramite. Aramite as well
it's-
as Custodes and Sisters. No, there is adamant. I'm pretty sure. We've got adamantium is used in conjunction with ceramite and plasteel to make power armor, Terminator armor,
Plasteel, right.
and
Who knows this stuff? Who's saying this?
like 4 or 5 different people.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
This is it's real. It's real.
No, I
Real stuff.
I was
We
going
know
to
what we're
congratulate.
talking
I was just
about.
going to recognize whoever was because I
Yes, it's Juno's Jungle Gym, as well as Dolo Ronos. Know the business. Google is a wonderful thing. That's fair. Hey, you know what? This isn't pub quiz. You guys can use Google. My hands are full. And if I try and talk to our Google Assistant, oof. Lord knows what that will come up with.
I don't know if it's just I can't retain enough information, but like given the amount of Black Library books I read, like I should know this, like that answer, right? Like I've read how many? 150? 200?
Oh, I mean, you've read 60 some of the Horus
Just the Horus
Heresy
Heresy,
alone.
but yeah.
I mean, I think there's a difference between like properly retaining the information, because it's up here. That doesn't mean I know what it's talking about. Bunch of nerds. Declines to use voice commands. Yes. The voice commands know what I want probably 60% of the time. The other 40%, I don't know if I don't talk robot.
So full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
I do work on that product.
This is true. But you're not the one, actively building it. And I'm a great use case. I would love to use it.
Use what?
I would love to use it more often.
Oh, Google Assistant.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
It is getting better.
Yeah,
I've actually noticed in just like probably the last 6 months.
We did. We rolled out a whole bunch of new fixes.
It's also hard because
It's a hard problem to solve, honestly.
yeah. I mean, we like to think like ChatGPT and all of these things, they're super cool and very interesting. But natural language processing as a general rule is especially when you're talking about English, which is one of the most bizarre and complicated languages that has different meanings for the same word, different words that are spelled the same way. So how do you listen to that and process it properly? Yeah. Fascinating problem. But I digress. So, good job at your job.
It'll turn on and off the lights.
It does turn off. Yeah. See, this is the one thing though, where I'm a Mac home, right? Like we're on a Mac. I have a Mac. I have an Apple Watch, and the integration between all of those things and Google isn't quite there. So I wished that instead of using Siri, on my Apple Watch, that I could really properly use Google on my Apple Watch, because the Samsung watches are ginormous and don't fit me.
Oh.
One time at a party, I whipped out Shazam, and someone preempted me by asking Alexa about the song.
Oh, I like Shazam.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mean.
It is.
That's
I'm
mean.
trying to race you to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I use Shazam.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like Shazam.
Yeah. Or what's the other one? Soundhound?
Oh, no,
You
know
use
what?
Soundhound, I use
Soundhound.
Shazam.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm that guy in the restaurant holding the phone up in the air.
Yes.
What song is this?
Or at the ending scenes to movies.
Right.
That is the number one use case.
For me, maybe for most people, I don't know.
I think I've seen you do it more than,
Right.
well, I don't know that I've...
It should be a requirement. Any movie or TV show, like when they have that end credit song, like just have it. Just say what it is right there.
It's, well, when we've been watching The Last of Us, because it's these awesome like a lot of them are awesome covers of songs. A lot of the
Depeche Mode
The Depeche
cover,
Mode.
The reason I couldn't find that is I ended up learning that it, and I've got this completely wrong, but I'm going to be kind of close. It's like the producer's daughter.
Oh, interesting.
And so it's not actually released
That's cool.
or something like that, yeah.
I'm like, one, I don't want to interrupt the song. Exactly. If especially, so Alexa was playing it and they interrupted her, that's rude. And my hearing sucks and often can't make out what Alexa says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of plus one to all of the above. I had a boss that had an Alexa in his office, and he would talk to it all the time. Like, and his office was right behind my desk, and he would talk to it all the time. And so it was a constant stream of him going, Alexa, blah 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 blah, and then Alexa like answering with whatever she was saying, and it was the most obnoxious thing. I would just go over and like close his door. He didn't like me. It was fine though. Yeah, not a fan of Alexa.
Another news, this Poxwalker has pox all the way to his butt. That's not cool.
Well, he's also got some horns and
Right,
there's a
yeah.
lot.
He's got a lot going on, but...
Yeah. If he did have the Last of Us mushroom disease, he would be a far gone. Be pretty far gone. It's kind of what I see them as now. Which is funny, because I played that game like 2-3 years ago, and I'm an idiot and never realized that it was mushrooms. That it was a fungus.
Oh, really?
I thought they were zombies. This just actually goes to show you how blind I am. Because I have to like get so close to the TV to really understand what's going on. Like every time I played Diablo or Inquisitor, although I watched somebody on Twitch play Inquisitor, did you know that you can zoom in?
Yes, we do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I do when I'm on the command bridge, but I didn't know you could do it in the game.
Yeah, but I only zoom in if I want to see like some detail, because otherwise I want to be zoomed out to see what's coming down the
I didn't realize
hall.
you could do it during the game. That might make it so that yeah, you do kind of want to see what's coming down the hall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that game. I'm very excited about
I
that.
love that game.
Fungal zombies for the win. Yes, they're fungal zombies. How is Inquisitor? I really like it.
Yeah.
Inquisitor to me it's 40k Diablo.
Yeah.
It's 40k
fair.
Diablo. It's a hack and slash for the most part. Like you half know what you're really doing, and you're half just attacking whatever is coming at you. It definitely, like, the leveling up system gets you hooked. You really want to do the next mission. But what really got me hooked, honestly, on Diablo as well, was the story. Like, and it's basically like reading a 40k novel whilst you're playing.
If you like the 40k lore,
Yeah.
Inquisitor's a great game. It's
Yeah.
deep in the lore. It's there's a lot more content than I expected out of that game.
Well, a lot more content, and to be honest, like, you can buy all the DLCs. They're still releasing stuff. They're about to release a Sisters DLC, which...
Well, they've already released for PC, but
They've
we're
already
waiting.
released it for the PC.
We're waiting for the PlayStation. Yeah.
I don't have a PC. Did you not just hear me say that I have a Mac house? I want them... yeah. It was supposed to be released in December. Warhammer. My good friends. But C'est la vie. I like it. I think it's a good game. It's definitely, yeah, I would say hack and slashy. I did play Last of Us, and I'm not good. What is the term? It's like point of view, first person shooter.
First person shooters.
Is that what that is? Like, I'm not good at the first person shooters.
What are you talking about?
Last of Us.
Oh, Last of Us. Yeah, it's a.
Like, I'm not good at those games.
That's actually, I think, third person technically, or.
Is it? Well, it's like where you can see your hands.
Yes.
There's a.
I'm talking outside of my.
Yeah, my 18-year-old son could tell you every different version of game. So I kind of like the hack and slash ones. Rogue Trader game. Oh yeah. We just watched the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does look good too. Honestly, I kind of want to make that Rogue Trader kill team. They're just, isn't that what that is?
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's essentially a Rogue Trader kind of kill team.
It's super cool.
It's out of print, so.
Yeah.
That box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe we would have to. Yes, the Star Riders. We're just gonna call them Star Riders. The E-Star Riders.
Yeah, those are really cool models.
They're really cool models.
Yeah.
Like the woman with the big hat thing, and yeah, those are pretty cool. Or it's like a veil, hat veil.
I wonder what they're gonna do next. It does seem like they're. It's like the Navy breachers, the Astromilitarium.
Astromilitarium.
Yeah, I got my tongue twisted. It's like, is it next going to be like, the cooks on the ship? Like.
Well, we were talking earlier
prison
about
breakout.
Yeah, do they have jobs?
Right.
These are the things I think about when I'm reading Warhammer books. Are they employed by the ecclesiarchy and the Imperium? Do they get a salary? Are they paid in food and water and room and board? Are they slaves ostensibly?
I know I say this like every 10 minutes, but the detail on these boxwalkers is crazy. Like this back area right here, there was 1, 2, 3 maggots and four maggots. Things you'll never thought you'd say, yeah.
Now I want a kill team of butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers.
Yes, that's hysterical.
Yes. That is...
Butchers, bakers, yeah.
Exactly.
Like the cleaver.
Well, doesn't one of those have something like a cleaver? Oh, yeah, that guy, he's got like this one. It's not a cleaver, but it's like a broken down machete. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're going deep in the catalog, but I don't know. I love Kill Team. I do want to see more kind of creative.
Well, I think that it's actually there is going to be some of that's going to happen, right? With this whole 40K becoming a part of mainstream in whatever ends up happening with the Henry Cavill
TV series?
TV series. Is it a TV series or a movie?
Well, I mean,
it feels
Amazon. It just feels to me like they're going to do a series, right, with that IP.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have very strong feelings about what they should do, which I know everyone does. And I have no real stake in having any strong feelings about this since I'm 18 months into my, Warhammer world. But I think that's going to actually open up a lot of funny things that are going to start happening because Monopoly, right? They're going to do a Warhammer Monopoly. They're going to, you know what I mean? It's all that kind of stuff where it turns a little more
merchandising for
right?
kind of more mainstream.
Yeah. And it's is
Warhammer Monopoly.
Warhammer Monopoly. Warhammer Clue, right? Butcher, baker, and candlestick maker.
Right.
It was the Ultramarines in the Militarium with the,
Yes, no, I get it.
It'll be interesting to see what they do and how they handle that because, I don't know.
Games Workshop's pretty tight with their IP though. Like, they've had several good Fantasy Flight board games, and they always get canceled because they remove the licensing pretty quickly.
That one the card game, right?
Yeah, like that card game. That's totally like for Fantasy Flight. You know, they've made a lot of the living card games, and that one, I think that only lasted like 3 years, and then there's no more support for it.
What is that called again?
Conquest.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
It's a good game, yeah.
Yeah. Although, didn't we find out that a bunch of people are kind of making their own
Yes, someone made a
content?
Sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you got excited. You saw that there was this, and I was like, I know I've gotten all the packs.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I basically have
it
to
was like a fan-made-
print it out
yeah.
myself. Which is not above the realm of possibility. Does anyone here play Kill Team? Yes. You are in a safe place. XI Delta X. Yeah.
They just arrived because we'll have to
they
show
did.
the Kill Team display board.
Yes, you're in a safe place.
Yeah, we're
This
we
is
have
all. I know that I'm. Delta is fine. I will call you Delta. Ask away. Ask questions. I don't know if I'll be able to answer them, but between Will, myself, and the lovely people of the chat, we have some very smart people listening. So ask questions about Kill Team. I know I'm painting 40k stuff, but I don't actually play 40k.
Right, and I am painting Kill Team, and we have a narrative game going on. We're 7 games in.
7 games.
So we're gonna start streaming that.
Yeah, I think there's a couple that we did stream the first 2 games. It was before we got the room fully set up. 11 Delta 9. That makes more sense. Thanks, Grev.
What?
Hey, I'm blind, okay? I'm blind. I can't read. I'm trying to... it's like screen names. Back when screen names started in my world with ICQ and AOL, there were like 13 people, and we all had, names, and now we gotta get creative. There's a tournament in my city on the 30th of March.
Oh.
A ton of models painted as salamanders.
Oh, that's cool. I love the Salamanders. Those were some of the best books in the Horus Heresy series.
Mm.
Yeah.
It doesn't mention a point number on the info page.
For the Kill Team?
Yeah, so...
They're...
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, you go ahead if you want.
So Kill Team it's not like 40k, it doesn't work by points. You have fire teams. Thanks for the follow. You get a fire team, and the fire teams are dependent on whatever the models are and whatever version. So you want to get a core... Is it the core book is going to have most of that in it?
Yeah, the core book has the basic rules, and there's a compendium, which has like about, 10 of the factions, and then for each of the factions, it basically just has the rules on how to construct a kill team. There's no points. It just tells you what you can and cannot include.
Yeah.
And if you take, for the Death Guard, you can take 3 Plague Marines as a squad, and then you can have a second squad, which is 3 more Plague Marines, or 8 Poxwalkers. It's kind of like that. There's these rules for construction. And then things like if you take this kind of heavy gun, you can only take it once. If you don't have a leader, you can upgrade somebody to a leader.
Yeah. And the rules are very different than 40k. I haven't played 40k. I've read a lot about 40k. I've watched a lot of 40k. It's a simpler combat format.
Yeah, there's no vehicles.
Yeah, there's no vehicles. It's the movement makes more sense to me. It's very simple. You can definitely still get out your rulers and all of that, but it's all movement based on square, triangle, circle, pentagon, which I like. It's very simple. So yeah, you'll want to get a compendium book or whatever you're running. So would an intercessor squad be enough? Because there are rules for the painting, and I'm mostly concerned about having models painted to the requirement. Yeah, they have to be 3-color, right? 3-color is the requirement to get the extra
Yeah,
BP.
so you get the 2 victory points for the having 3 colors. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's less about. I know I'm a little particular about how I paint my models. Again, my sisters to be the right colors, but for the most part, Will's looking it up in the compendium book. Are you looking up the intercessors?
Yeah, the intercessors, they are in the compendium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get yourself to a Warhammer store or your local game store that has the books and get 3 colors are a requirement, so it might be an actual entrance rule. Oh, maybe the tournament is requiring painting.
Yeah, well, it's the way they word it now. Because I was reading the player packet, they word it as you do get 2 victory points, but it is also a requirement. Like there's a minimum painting standard, and then you also get victory points for it.
I think, again,
it's a good rule.
It's a good rule.
When I used to go to Grand Tournaments like 20 years ago, I told you the story, right? There was a couple times where, I invested all this time, signed up for a Grand Tournament, traveled, and then there's nothing worse than, getting a player who's got just a primed army. And it's like, we've all been there, and that's fine for just like casual games, but you're going to a Grand Tournament, like you've invested a lot, and everybody else should, show up prepared and to, give that experience to their opponent.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think it doesn't necessarily, it's super loose on what you paint them, what colors scheme you choose. I suggest blue. I suggest you paint them blue. I've got some blue paint for you. I've got lots of blue paint. You have your pick of dry brushing.
Claire, I was just telling everyone that Claire manages to come home with a different color of blue Citadel paint every time.
Yes, and Doloronos will suggest white because it's just so easy to paint models in white. And if you really hate yourself and have a lot of self-loathing, paint them white. I think green with black pauldrons, add an extra color. Do an edging or pick something a little bit
contrast and dry brush. You'll be ready to go.
Yeah, honestly, throw some Null Oil on it. You're fine.
Null Oil on it, you're fine.
Yeah, get yourself a squeeze bottle.
Null Oil.
Everything.
Anointed in Null Oil.
And it is Null Oil is the mark of the ecclesiarchy, I think. It's actually what's in those incense things. It's not incense. It's really just they're spraying Null Oil on everyone. Silver and gold. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Right.
So smart. Look at you.
That's a good idea.
Add a metallic. Do something interesting on the weapons.
I realized I really missed a fun opportunity. So for my kill team at the tournament, I've made these barrels for objective markers. They're going to look really dirty and have toxic goo coming out of them. But what I should have done is I should have made one as Null Oil.
Ugh. Is it too late?
I'll see how.
It's not too late.
I'll see how the clock goes. If I've got.
It's not.
It's a stretch goal.
July. You have until July. This is coming from the guy who's looking at a woman who is going to the same thing, doing an army that has yet to even be put together, and is sitting here painting something that she has no business painting because she's got no idea how to play 40k. I can get the gist. It's on the model as a whole. Yeah, just totally. You guys have this worked out. Yeah, the gold or silver.
Yeah.
My favorite. Where's my? Do you have it over there? Do you have the bronze?
No. The Pro Acryl.
The Pro Acryl bronze. I swear
magic.
that is the other one that I want to have in a vat. Between the sisters and this freaking this is all this edging, all of these stained glass windows. It's all gonna be all bronze. Bronze it up. Andrax Agatone, yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
We have gone through a couple bottles of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for a lot of the organic kind of stuff.
Definitely. It works. It works. That's a smart move. Well done. This is a good group of people. You guys know what you're doing.
Pro tips.
Pro tips. No noobs here. The other thing I love about the sisters is the cherubims. They're just so fucked up. Like a skull head on a baby's body. Why? Like, who?
Yeah, they do look a little... What's weird is, like, for Death Guard, there's a bunch of creepy stuff. But it doesn't seem as creepy...
As a skull head on a baby's body. I know. I wish they gave us more cherubim. I know. I want more cherubim.
Yeah, when we went to search for more, I was surprised that there was not...
Well, you can't get them... Warhammer doesn't give more. And there's no... But if you get the... what is it? It's the Retributor Squad, which is the big heavy gunners. They have little cherubim that actually have their own things, and you can... In 40k, you can set one with the character, and they have a little melt-a-bomb. So you can get them, you just have to buy a cherubim with the Retributor set. Yeah, Delta, what's your next question? Painting technique. We have a 20-year-old painting veteran, Mr. D6 veteran over here, a.k.a. Will, a.k.a. Poxwalker. 60 Poxwalkers in. Metallic paints like Lead Belcher and Retributor armor.
Yeah,
yes.
Retributor.
That's what I've been using on the
right.
the Sisters of Silence.
All good recipes.
All
right. So.
What if I want my green salamanders to look like that? Can you do green metallic?
Oh. Sure. Wait, can you do green metallic?
Well, it's the question is, so the metallic paints like Lead Belcher and Retributor armor, what if I want my green salamanders to look like that?
They're like, there's a metallic medium that you can mix with other acrylic paints to get that effect. I would test it out, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can get a metallic medium just to mix. And honestly, sometimes, like, depending on what you're doing, mixing something like the dark silver, it would darken the color, but it wouldn't make it silver, but it would add some of that metallic. And then there's the whole non-metallic metal style of painting, which I have yet to dabble into. But that's another option, too, is to look up some non-metallic metal style. Because I've seen some... greens, blues, making something look metal that isn't actually a metallic paint. Best getting more I've found is taking the cherubim that hanging off the reliquary in the Battle Sisters box and converting that into a second one. That's a good idea too. Green contrast over a metallic, that's also an option.
Oh, that is a good option.
Smart. We have good smart ideas here. I think you've got 3 ideas now. You can either mix a metallic compound, metallic medium rather. You can do non-metallic metal style painting, or you can use a contrast. I would do tests.
Also, if you're doing green, there is a lot of acrylic paint brands have a gunmetal color, and that's basically it's a very dark green, kind of a militaristic green.
Yeah, there are also.
I have used that on Space Marines before. It does look kind of cool. It's not very. I don't know if it's very salamandery though, because salamandery is like it's got kind of that more lizard green.
There are some brands that do a lot of different metallics. It's actually a D&D brand. that has a bunch of metallics. And then there's that, what is the one? It's like Rad Nerd or something like that.
I have not tried those paints.
We haven't tried them, but they're very groovy metallic colors. So there are some that exist. It's not Vallejo. It's called Rad Nerd. I think it might be a newer brand. It might be only here.
I think that person was responding to the D&D one.
Oh, maybe.
Was it Vallejo?
Mm-hmm. Is that a D&D brand?
No, it's not, but I don't know what the D&D brand is, so we're just trying to figure out what you may have saw.
Oh, well, they now sell the D&D brand at our local shop.
It says D&D.
It is the D&D logo. It is the actual Dungeons and Dragons D&D logo. Oh, Vallejo does make the D&D paint.
Oh, right.
Ah.
It's like an OEM thing. You're right.
That makes sense. Yeah. Army Painter might have some different metallics, but I haven't really used Army Painter. Oh, Army Painter makes it, not Vallejo.
Oh, for D&D?
That makes sense. Yeah, they've got a bunch of metallics. Yeah, I would try mixing the metallic medium. I think that's probably the most solid, because then you're going to get whatever color you actually are looking for, just with that extra.
I think that chat response was saying that Army Painter makes the D&D paints?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
They went back and forth a few times trying to figure out which
right,
one.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't point out people's incorrectness the first time. We get.
Well, I didn't even know. So.
Well, you're not seeing all the chat of I was wrong. We don't care. We're all wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm new at this stuff too. Like, again, I've only been painting for 18 months. Painting models for only 18 months. It is kind of surprising, like, I do find what I was painting in, traditional painting on a canvas does start to, translate. So if you test, you can test on a piece of paper or some kind of thing. Oh yeah.
Right. I also highly recommend just going to an art store. I got this at like a Lowe's. It just is very helpful to see like what kind of contrasting colors. I'm not an art person, so I don't even know how to use an artist wheel. I just know that I can like visualize like, following instruction, kind of visualize like what's contrasting, right? Like I know that, certain like, what's the ones I use? Blues, or when I use red and green, right?
Right.
And I get the right shades and they line up.
Yeah, without them looking like a Christmas tree.
And then what I really like about this is they have these at most hardware stores, and they have these little gaps, so you can get very specific on the shade you're looking for, and then kind of overlap that with something else. And
yeah, those ones with the little hole, that's really good.
Yeah.
This is cracking me up. My first guy, so that Delta's painted about 7 models in now, and it says the first guy I didn't thin the paints, so looked like he got hit with a melt-a-gun.
Yeah.
Very true. Citadel paints are great. A lot of what I use is Citadel. I will say I've kind of fallen in love with Pro Acryl. The pigment on them is really, really good.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is they're hard to get your hands on. I think even more so if you're in the UK. I've gotten a few people who've said it's really hard to get them over there right now, because I think they're based in like Arizona. And then
Monument Hobbies.
Yeah, and Monument is newish, right? Like they're newer, and I think they're going through a growth spurt, and so sometimes if you go to their website right now, it's looking a little out of stock, but
the last time you checked, but then you
check
again.
And then you check again, so you just kind of have to put alerts. They do a lot of the let me know, put me on a wait list, that kind of stuff. I think that's really
my assessment with Pro Acryl is that they are some of the best paints out there, especially because of the pigment quality. The downside is that you really have to learn how to mix up and get a lot of, I mean, the paint range is pretty extensive. It's like 60, 70 now. But there is some mixing that you'll need to do, whereas with Games Workshop, which really is nice, is like you really never have to mix anything. There's so many Games Workshop.
And you can just buy Thousand Suns Blue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the paint quality, I think, has gotten really, it's come a long way.
I think they have, yeah.
Their paints used to be pretty lackluster, and now I find them, I'm using them more and more.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now the Games Workshop, the Citadel paint containers is another story.
What, you mean you don't like to spill Nuln Oil all over yourself every time you try and open it?
The containers feel like they're geared towards getting you to buy another thing of paint.
Yeah.
Because you can't actually get all the paint out, or it dries out.
I will say, honestly...
Or I'm just bad at using them.
No, I hate them. Every time I open one, my fingers end up with, like... Yeah, it's a hot mess. This is a question, do you know? So the Delta, with his melt-a-gun model, he was wondering, soaking it in isopropyl alcohol, 90%, will strip the paint. But then he said that it's a resin model, and that might mess with the resin. Do you know?
I don't. No, I do not know the answer to that. I have used green stuff. Not green. What's that cleaning solution? The green cleaning solution.
Oh yeah, it is called like green clean like.
Yeah, that's what I've always used to get paint off a model that I really want to redo.
Yeah, like you find it at the hardware store.
Yeah, it's at the hardware store, and you'll just pour it into a bucket, put your model in there, and just leave it there overnight. And then with a toothbrush, just softly, like a soft bristle toothbrush, because some of the paint will need to come out of the nooks and crannies. Depending on how much paint you've got on there, and your mileage may vary, but that's what I've always done. It is a fair amount of work.
I would do some Googling, just simple green.
Simple green. There we go.
Yes,
That's what
Delta,
it is. What
you
did
know
I
what's
call
up.
it?
Green stuff.
Green stuff, yeah, which is the putty.
Green stuff world. Yeah. LA Awesome works too, doing it right now.
What's it called?
LA Awesome?
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Good morning, tiniest of travelers. I thought I was the tiniest of travelers, but apparently someone else is the tiniester of travelers. 8 years in the Army, and that's a cleaning solution they get by the barrel. Nice. Okay, well, it now might save your melt-a-bombed guy.
Melt-a-gun.
Melt-a-gun. Well, he might have been melt-a-bombed.
I don't think there'd be much left.
Yeah, so when the cherubim drops a melt-a-bomb, does it, like, skitter off really quickly? Best way to get carbon off a rifle. I am learning so much.
To get what off a rifle?
Apparently Sipple Green is the best way to get carbon off a rifle.
Huh.
It's 2 a.m. Go to bed. It's 11 o'clock, and the only reason I'm still here and not asleep right now is because you are all here. Because my bedtime was like 2 hours ago. I have to go to the office tomorrow. Very much looking forward to that.
Also, what time is it really?
What time is it really? 10.
10, that's why.
Yeah, because it's, it is an exorcist tank for the Miss Sisters. She's coming along. I'm basically just putting a ridiculous amount of bronze on it. Then gonna do some actual styling and some other things, and Will's got his poxwalkers going. Oh, that one's got a big knife. Thank you. I appreciate that. This tank got put together probably 8 months ago, and it's finally getting more than just a black coat of primer on it, so I'm sure she's happy. Yes, the sheer amount of details on a sister's tank is only dwarfed by the sheer amount of details on the sister's terrain that I am also working on. Because if you look very closely, you can be dumb like me and decide to paint everything in every little nook and cranny. It makes me sad after about 4 hours of.
You've made a lot of progress though with the other buildings. I'm
Yes.
excited to play on them.
Yeah, I am very excited to use these. These are the bigger ones or the smaller ones. Yeah, I went a little overboard on picking out the detail. Let's see how close my little Logitech can get here. So you can see, you can do it. There we go. Yeah, went a little overboard, a little too much. It's fine. I love the broken screen, the kind of messed up thing. These are going to be some of the pieces for my diorama, but I have a bunch of stuff coming from some guys on Etsy, which I'm very excited about, but I need it to arrive so that I can set everything up properly. So that's why I'm working on, Exorcist instead. Part of me wants to do terrain boards, but I have no place to store them. We have place to store them. What we have found is to get little bins like this. Pardon.
Oh, is this he or she? Are they talking about terrain boards?
Terrain/boards.
Oh, okay.
So these bins are great. They.
Are they talking about 40K or Kill Team?
I think that they had been talking about Kill Team earlier.
Yeah, because what I like about Kill Team for terrain is literally what? That's your board, and it folds up.
Yeah, the Kill Team boards are really
and
nice.
And then we've got a whole, like one of those small bins, which is like an $8 bin, holds enough terrain to make 2 different boards.
Yeah. And those are just from Target, right?
Yeah.
Part of me wants to do terrain boards in a place. I remember in 8th edition, those Exorcist tanks were all the rage. Could shoot twice for 1 CP. Yeah. No joke. I think the sisters were kind of stacked. They still are. Like the faith dice for Kill Team, and I know that there's there's also the dice for 40K that I cannot remember. Yeah, they're pretty stacked. They've got a lot of stuff. Would it be heretical if I put a dead marine malevolent at the feet of my salamanders? Depends on who you ask. Both 40K and Kill Team. Hear me out. Ballistics, several editions go infinite range, so people would call other game stores and rain fire on games going from there. Ballistics were only
That's pretty
240 inch range. That was the Death Strike missile you're thinking of. Oh, well, even it's in the name. It's in the name, Death Strike. I am starting to officially wind down. I can no longer paint tiny lines of bronze on my Exorcist here.
Gotta get these 60 Pokwalkers done.
Well, apparently Will's gonna be here a long time. This is my other. See, here is you're gonna learn a bit about me. I have terrain going. I have this Exorcist going. I have my diorama project over there. I've got these Blizzbarb archers. I have, the piles of shame. These need to be primed. My Thousand Suns need to be primed. I have some Slaneshi stuff, just sitting around in the world. And then I've also got this beautiful Skull Taker, which I'm very...
The Skull Taker's pretty cool.
I just love him.
Yeah.
I'll be honest,
I was a little jealous when you got that.
The only reason I bought him, because when do you ever get Cape of Skulls?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. It's not really.
I kind of wanted to paint a cape of skulls.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here in that the shame that you're showing. I bet everybody here has their own pile of shame.
Well, according to...
I'd like to hear about other shame.
A shoo-shoo. Yeah, it's not focusing on it, but it's beautiful. A shoo-shoo likes to call them piles of opportunity.
Oh, I like this. Yeah.
Way to put a positive spin.
I like that. Piles of
I like
opportunity.
it. It's pile of opportunity.
Yeah. It's kind of enabling, though, but sure. Yeah.
I think that is the 40K way. We all just enable each other.
Enablers.
Yeah. It's okay. There's a lot worse habits.
I'm very excited about this one.
I'm excited about that one too.
Yeah. I'm using this as my Plague Marine champion for my new kill team. And it's a combination of a couple models so that I got the loadout correctly. And just thematically, I will take a Plague Bell.
Yeah.
Because
he's
got a big bell. Actually, he's got many bells. He's even got this. This is what the thing is with the Death Guard. Is they're a combination of disgusting and cute.
Yeah.
Like he's got little bells on his shoes, his boots.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard to hate them. Like they're gross, but and I'm sorry, the Nurglings are adorable.
They are. Yeah.
And it's kind of like the squigs. Like their big teeth. I'm like, oh, look at you, you little cute little squiggy you.
Yeah. So somebody who hasn't been here to what I'm doing with these are going to be my kill team barricades. And the rules for match play is that you can create a barricade. It just needs to be the same depth and width. Height isn't a big deal because you just ignore that and just call it barricade. So yeah. Were these out of the Age of Sigmar? Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Yeah, there's literally a box of...
Right. And so I just cut out some plastic card, put some magnets down there. And, these are going to be fun to paint. I'd like to hear some ideas on what, should I do pink-based, green-based, yellow-based, mixed as like a rainbow of...
Getting some love for the Nurgling barricades. Oh, you have the whole Sisters Christmas Battle Force box to paint?
Oh, yeah.
That is a pile of shame and opportunity. That alone.
That's a good box.
Oh, the Brimstone Horrors. Yes. Kenna Deadly says, the Nurglings are adorable. Quote, Death Guard Captain Coffee McPlegskin. Yes, that's exactly it. Coffee McPlegskin.
That's great.
Well, what is the one? The blippity pipe spewer or whatever? They're even, if it couldn't get more adorably named in the Age of Sigmar version, it is literally, there's one called the blippity pipe spewer or something.
Yeah,
just adorable. So good.
I want to write down that coffee name. That's really funny.
Death Guard Captain Coffee McPlegskin.
Because I am, I'm a slave to coffee, so that'd be a good name.
No, coffee.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm embarrassed now. I'm already thinking about coffee, and I assumed that it was...
It was clearly wrapping up time to go to sleep. It was just
so absurd, too. That's why I thought it was... I mean, it's funny the other way, too. Coffee.
Coffee grounds.
Yeah, you don't have to save me.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense.
I
tried. Didn't make any sense.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I can't paint anymore. I also... This is probably the box that is my most, I would just say the most shameful, because there's some stuff in here. I don't even know how to play with it. Here's Here's my rhino that I started. Needs some love and attention.
Yeah, it looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah,
It needs some love and attention. That was one of the first things I started ever. We've got particularly terrible plague coming out next year. I don't want to spoil things, but the primary symptom rhymes with your skin runs away like some kind of caterpillar. I'm sorry, I lost the capacity to rhyme. That's a symptom too. Death Guard Captain Blister.
That's good.
Oh, you're cracking me up.
Yeah.
Wow. Kenna Deadly, new best friend.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, well done. Big fan. Friend got me into, oh yeah, squids. Oh, there we go. You have a good friend who got you in by giving you squads. Yes. Do they need more friends? You can have some of mine. I did get into some of the Age of Sigmar stuff, and I built a whole demonette army, but then.
Oh yeah, this is shame.
This is pure shame. I don't even
know why you bought that.
I just like look.
It's not even blue.
It could be blue, but hey, their hair will be blue.
That's right.
Maybe I'll make them.
Maybe
blue.
that's what you saw. You saw the opportunity to paint blue.
Look at this. What even is this?
It looks cool, but yeah.
Friendship raid. Hi, friendship raid. We love a good raid. Look at this thing. Oh, and also, I thought it would be really cute, since I mostly paint sisters, to have a dead sister in there. So, hey, I'm all for being sacrilege and super, yeah. It is Slanesh. This is the Demonites of Slanesh. I forget what it's called, but one of the other women who paints on Instagram, she has one too. We both bought it. We don't play them. We have no idea, so we're going to paint them together. So expect a joint paint session
I like that.
between me and someone whose name I can't recall at the moment because it's late for me because I'm old. Oh my gosh.
You can add a screen for me and I'll still be painting these poxwalkers.
You can't even say
I
poxwalker.
Yeah.
Okay. So much happening. Squads. A lot of people are being devoted to Nurgle as a nightmare on rational thought, but I disagree. First hits free. Yes, that's what your friend did to you. First hits free. Here, have some squads.
That's right.
Have some Warhammer. The Night Haunts are cool. Those are so cool. Oh, those are kind of blue. Friendship raid, hype, love it. I think he may have been sent by GW. Yes, exactly.
What's that?
Saying Games Workshop sent the friend to give free.
Oh, right,
It's like your dealer, right? Drug dealers telling you, give them a little bit, it's fine.
Yeah, they should go propose that job to Games Workshop.
What army are you painting? I'll write a funny. Will is doing the Poxwalkers. I have a Novitate army that I am working on. We've got some Salamanders in... We had some Grey Knights. Is our friend who's doing the Grey Knights still here? What else did we have? Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Kenna Deadly and Shukan Tekani Uso. Love it. Sisters for the win. First one's free. First one's free. Gotta get my hit. Where's my plastic? Where's my glue? It's too much.
What's funny about, I was commenting on this early, is that I start with a bright yellow, well, this one's already been rusted, a bright yellow barrel. And then I just spend time painting it down to just look.
Yeah. It's the
it's
the poxy way.
It doesn't really feel like there's any skill involved at this point.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Screen Games. Much appreciated. I think this is the longest we've ever streamed. It's been 3 hours and 10 minutes.
3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we did a game that was like 240.
Right. Are we going to do a Kill Team game tomorrow night?
Or we're going to switch all of this over to Kill Team? Are you?
Or
Oh,
Tuesday.
Screen is a fantastic painter. You should see his stuff. I would love to see his stuff. Oh, he is. I follow him, and he is a fantastic painter. You are correct. Welcome to my account. I very much appreciate that. Yes. Big fan, Screen. Stuff is good. I've given up entirely on painting tonight. I need to either take my contacts out or go to bed. Old people. Hey man, y'all want some good product? I got what you need, man. A model of an Adeptus Titanicus support team and a World Warlord class Titan. $7,000. Yeah, exactly. I think that's actually directly from Games Workshop. That's their subtext. I got that in an email.
Their training.
Yeah.
Their sales
Yes, sales training. There are sometimes aggressive Games Workshop
some of the Games
sales folks
some
at
of the
the
stores,
stores.
it's like you turn around, you're looking at paint, and they're like inches away from you, asking you what you need.
Yes.
Or, you know.
I like our local Games Workshop store.
Yeah, it's got a good vibe.
For two reasons. One, the gentleman who I think Matt is the manager.
Yeah, he is.
He's super great. Never makes me feel stupid, even though he knows 1,000,000 times more than me, possibly 2,000,000. Is really great if I'm ordering something and it comes in, like always, you know, do you need anything else? You know, let's talk things through. When I got the Thousand Suns, like had a really great conversation about the older version, the Horus Heresy version, blah, blah, blah. And then he's got this new person who works there, and they have never played. Like, they're brand new, they're learning everything, they're just the sweetest and just really super overly eager and helpful. It's awesome to see that juxtaposition, and I think he's really, just trying to be super friendly. I love it. That he's not, you know, only hiring people who are already in it.
Do you remember that we were checking out and I asked her a question? Was it her or him? I can't remember. Them. And I asked them a question, and then they just kind of gave me a look.
Yeah, and then just very politely said, I've only worked here a month.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that they're, like, you know, he's bringing in people who are interested in learning and, you know, not saying you have to know.
Right.
You have to have the compendium memorized.
And they were like, I'm really getting into it. And,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Warhammer in Tokyo probably has the nicest staff that has ever worked at any retail location ever. Interesting.
One thing that I've wondered about kind of the Warhammer scene in Japan is it seems like those I don't even know what they're called, but they're those box. They're in the they're a series of models. Like they did one for Death Guard, they did one for like a Blood
That's where you got
Angels.
some of your pieces, right?
Yeah, I ordered them from Japan eBay, and they're like in a box, and if you collect all of them, you
Gunpla?
Maybe there's like 5 different versions, and it's it's randomized too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think. But I saw a photo of there was just like a carousel in what looked like a little like mini mart with like the Warhammer box models.
Oh,
I was just like wondering like what the scene is like. Is it like, are there hobby stores, or are they just so ubiquitous that the models are just in?
Gunpla is Gundam, so if it's actually Warhammer, then no.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's funny they say that though, because the boxes look very Gundam style.
Oh, interesting.
They're like Yeah, they're like individual plastic model boxes, and they're series for different. Like that's where I got these different Death
interesting.
Guard models.
Yeah, because that's where you got the Power Fist from, right?
Right,
Yeah.
it was from one of those boxes. Yeah, I clipped it off. Yeah, so Kill Team Tuesday.
Kill Team Tuesday.
We'll stream Kill Team Tuesday.
Do a little more painting tomorrow. Kill
Yeah.
Team Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, break up.
I think
Kill
that
Team.
means we're wrapping
Yes.
up so I can get some sleep, so I don't fall asleep during my important meetings tomorrow. I don't do anything important. It's all lies. I make no big decisions at all in my life. Sleep is good. You are correct. It is. I don't know how you people are awake at 2:30 in the morning. Like, it's 11:30. We're on the West Coast. And
Well, different job schedules, right?
yeah. I think also just different temperaments, you know. Also, you know, it's all good. Stupid meetings, I know. Having meetings makes you have to sleep. In Texas and took a fat nap. Okay. I don't nap. I'm West Coast too. Getting ready for sleep. All right, you're all making me feel better. I am going to try to see if I can end this. Can I end in a raid? Can we go raid and like move over somewhere?
Oh, like raid another channel?
Yeah. To give y'all somewhere to go. Let me see. I'm learning the Twitch. It's like the internets. Us old people, we gotta have a minute. Let's see. Wow. You all are making me feel very awesome. Yeah, there's not very many people left out here. Let's Commander Mittens Company.
Commander Mittens.
We're gonna raid Commander Mittens. So we're gonna head over there. Rampant ADHD. Me too. Okay. Commander. I'm learning. Commander Mittens Company. All right. We are gonna go head over there, and we'll see you with some painting tomorrow, and we'll do a kill team of Death Guard versus Nova Tates on Tuesday. All right. Thank you guys so much. Much appreciated. We're gonna go raid Commander Mittens. Bye.
Learned a lot tonight.
Yeah. 4 viewers are ready to raid. Raiding in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raid now. Raid channel.
Also, just send me over there.
Sip some coffee.
And then I